put a live stream today, and I listen. Yesterday was not a good one, especially late at night. Apologize for to y'all, but today we going to talk about this Eagles team. There's been a lot that's been on my mind. Um, you know, did Howie Roseman have the best draft? Did he have the best draft? Better than last year with Jalen Carter? Did Howie Roseman potentially get two first round cornerbacks back to back? I said this on my Twitter page. Are we going to look at back at this draft with Cooper DeJean pick, especially, okay, and say, did we make the right decision? I'm rooting for this kid, like I said. I'm rooting for this kid. I hope this kid turns out to be everything we hope for. Because you took a gamble drafting him, knowing he's coming off an injury. He has a lot of upside. I'm not saying he doesn't. He makes your secondary better. But are we going to look back at this draft and say, you know what, we should have taken Edgerrin Cooper? Now, I think both of those players are going to be good. I think Cooper DeJean is going to be really good with the secondary. Depends how we use him. I'd rather have him with C.J. Gardner-Johnson at safety. And if you want to move him around where they did with C.J. Gardner-Johnson, where you play multiple positions, that's fine. But I don't want him strictly at corner. I want him to be able to be with C.J. Gardner-Johnson. That combo is a nightmare. Okay? Because anything to get Reed Blankenship off the damn field, I'm all for it. Okay, the Eagles did what they wanted me to. They say, hey, you don't like Reed Blankenship, EC1? Well, we got you another white safety, Cooper DeJean. And hopefully he's better than Reed Blankenship. Okay? So, when you look back at this draft that we had, okay, you got Mitchell in the first round. You didn't move up. You didn't do nothing. You just sat there and you watched them drop and you grabbed them, which was, you got to give it to Howie Roseman. Okay? And then in the second round, you move up to take Cooper DeJean. Whether people want to say we swap picks and this and that, listen, you moved up in the second round to get potentially the best cornerback that fell in the first round. But I'll say this. Howie Roseman has to worry about those guys producing. Because if they don't, and that dude, Cooper DeJean, turns out to be a bust, or he doesn't live up to his potential, because everybody is telling me that this guy, and I said this yesterday, but I'll say it again, this is the guy that everybody's saying is the next John Lynch 2.0. They're comparing him to the greatest cornerback that they ever seen in college. That's what they're telling me. He has to play this year. He better be on that field this year. You got a first and a second round pick. Those guys got to play. And he better be that dude that everybody's saying he is. Now, I ain't going to lie to you. Sleeping on that pick a little bit more. Waking up and doing the research. I'm not mad at that pick. If that is what you want. We know we need secondary help. I was mad at the time. I'm over it now. I'm not even thinking about Edgerrin Cooper. He's not an Eagle. I'm looking at, can Cooper DeJean be that dude? And I think he can. On Friday, I know you saw the live stream collab. My guy Weapon Eagles X, or Weapon X Eagle. Okay, sorry for butchering his name. Will be on my channel. Matter of fact, we'll have both channels live. So whether you're on Weapon X channel or my channel, just come through. We're going to talk a lot. We got a lot to talk about. Yesterday, A.J. Brown had a press conference. not to jump off a little off topic. And it's interesting to hear him talk, you know what I'm saying? Because we all hear all these speculations about how he's a cancer and this and that. But again, once again, AJ Brown shows that he's not that. And guys like Dan Sileo, who I'm not going to go on a rant about, I ran him yesterday, keeps on saying that this guy's a problem. You got a lot of fans that wanted him gone because of what they heard. And it's stepping back and actually matter of fact, instead of just stepping back and taking a deep breath and think about what they tweet or what they say. Because once you tweet something, you can't take it back. You can delete it, but people saw it. So, the AJ Brown drama is done with. I'm glad that he's in Philadelphia. Him and Devontae Smith are going to bring the energy that you want. And everybody told me that AJ Brown and Devontae Smith weren't going to be here forever. That's all I heard. Was we weren't going to be able to afford those guys. The difference between your GM and my GM can do that. Meanwhile, the 49ers over there, they can't afford both of their receivers. They had to draft a number one receiver because they're probably going to have to trade one of those guys because they reached on signing big names like Javon Hargrave, paying them a lot of money. At 30 years old, you're going out and training for guys like Chase Young. You're going out and just training for players without any doing research on the cap, nothing. You just sign a bunch of players. Those are the difference between winners and teams that just chase it for one chance to get a Super Bowl. The Eagles are built for long term, while other teams over there, they keep on gambling and training for star players. Look at the Rams. They just finally got a first-round pick this year. They traded their whole future for one Super Bowl. Now, will it work out for them? Probably. But most teams, they don't work out they don't work out at all for them. The 49ers are a franchise that banked on winning the Super Bowl. And now they're in a situation where they're not going to be able to compete for a while because they're going to have to sign players and they're going to have to get rid of players. Enjoy paying Brock Purdy all that money because all I hear is, well, he don't need Debo. Really? I love that everybody says, well, Jalen Hurts need all these weapons. Yeah, because my GM actually wants to build around my quarterback. My GM knows that these weapons that he has, that he's grown with, help him. And there's nothing wrong with that. In order to win a Super Bowl, you need weapons on your team. When you don't have weapons and you keep changing weapons because you can't afford them, that throws off chemistry off your quarterback. Because your quarterback going to have to learn a new receiver, going to have to find ways to get him the ball. All because you wanted to, reach for one Super Bowl that you didn't get? You signed Javon Hargrave. Good luck with that. Meanwhile, we drafted Jalen Carter, who's cheaper and it's going to be better because Javon Hargrave are not going to last too many years. He's 30 years old. He ain't going to be playing that much. Usually guys retire earlier in their career. So to get a Javon Hargrave, was it worth it? I don't think so. Because the 49ers now are in a situation where I told them, because they were laughing at us, talking about we're going to be a downfall. No, y'all downfall. Your downfall was starting. Y'all thought you had Howie Roseman. You didn't. I told you John Lynch wasn't on Howie Roseman's level. Howie Roseman is able to get our receivers done. Everybody said A.J. Brown, Devontae ain't going to take those deals. They're not going to want to stay. They're going to want the ball. That's bullcrap. We don't got selfish players in Philadelphia. We got motivators and winners here. We are not the same from the rest of these teams. I look at this draft and I look at just looking at the prospects that you got. You know, other than Cooper DeJean, which, like I said, I don't have an issue with. If that's the player that you had on your board and he was hired, then what I think. Do what you have to do. I always told Howie Roseman in my videos, go back and watch it. And you know, I might have been upset, but I always told Howie Roseman, stop trying to go for needs and go for the best player. Well, he did that. Now, I might have not wanted that player at that time because, like I said, I was a big Edgerrin Cooper fan. I would have loved to have Edgerrin Cooper with Devin White, but it's over with. He ain't here. Cooper DeJean isn't here. I mean, Cooper DeJean is your player. And you know what? I'm going to support him until I can't support him anymore. You got a lot of good players in this draft. And hopefully they work out. Hopefully we don't have to sit two years down the road and say we have to draft another corner. Or we have to go out for this guy. I hope every draft pick is playing this year. That is my hope. Now, is it realistic? Probably not. Now, that third rounder that we got, I ain't going to lie to you. I don't like it. I think it stinks. Not saying it won't work out, but I would have never went for a guy that I'm not familiar with. That one right there, that was an analytic pick. Because he had that Senior Bowl, but there was other players on that board. You can't tell me that wasn't a reach. That was definitely a reach. And the reason why they did it, and I know why they did it, because Fangio likes him. And you're not going to say to your defense corner that you brought in here, tough luck. Who cares what you like? No, you're going to give him the best players that he thinks is going to help his defense. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully this guy pans out. But I would have never went for him. There was other guys on that board. You could have Payne Wilson. Like I said, I told Stu before, I would have taken Jermon Trotter that round. I mean, we got him eventually. You know, to the fit. I mean, I'm glad we got him. I think people are really, really acting like this guy ain't good. And I think people are going to really, really be upset when he beats out Nakobe Dean for his job. Oh, I'm calling it now. Nakobe Dean better have heads in his back of his eye. I mean, he better have eyeballs in his back of his head. Because he might be taking his job. If he does not stay healthy this year. I'm rooting for Nakobe Dean. I hope he stays healthy, but I'm not making any guarantees. People told me, well, he had a rookie year last year. So, well, did you get upset when Brandon Graham had that? Yeah, Brandon Graham was a first-round pick. Nakobe Dean is a third round. I get it that. But when you drafted this guy, he was supposed to be the best linebacker in this draft. You remember? They had him higher than Christian Harris. He was projected to go in the first round if he didn't have that injury that he had. So stop with all that. Oh, let's pat Nakobe Dean on his ass and treat him like he's special when he's not. He's a regular player. He's a regular person like you and I. I'm not giving no freaking pat on the ass because he's a third rounder. He dropped because of injuries. But he would have went higher if he didn't have those injuries. Just stop with all these excuses about Nakobe Dean needs another chance, man. Stop all that. I'm trying to win a championship, bro. I don't give a fuck about waiting for players. If you're not ready, get the fuck off the team. Or matter of fact, get off the field in general. And go sit on that bench until you're ready to play. Because I got starters that are going to be hungry. I need players that are going to be hungry and going to want to feast. Not players that want to play but can't play because they've been battling injuries. Not saying this is fault, but dude, availability is the best ability. What did they always say? You have to be there on that field. And he hasn't. So that's what I want to point out. Okay. The Philadelphia Eagles, I think Jeremiah Trotter Jr. is going to bring the energy. And I look at Jeremiah Trotter Jr. and I say this. The fact that he fell that far It's crazy. It's crazy. You would think that dude would have been taken immediately. Jeremiah Trott Jr. is going to bring that energy. That was one of the linebackers I wanted. Yeah, I wanted Edgerrin Cooper. I would have taken Colson. I would have taken Payne Wilson. I would have even taken the dude that I wanted. What's his name? Gray. Cedric Gray. I would have taken him. But Jeremiah Trott Jr., you had to take him. You had to take him. And, the fact that he fell that far, credit to Howie Roseman. Something had to go on behind the scenes where teams were uncomfortable taking him. Which it reminds me of the Metcalf pick, where teams wanted him. They didn't want him. They wanted him. They didn't want him because they're afraid of risk. And I think he's going to make everybody pay for that. If you think Jeremiah Trotter, who's been a former NFL player, is going to allow his son to go out being a bust, you're off your rockers. Because I guarantee you, and this is my opinion, he had to beg the Eagles to draft him. He had to convince Howie Roseman that this dude was that guy. Let's be real, they drafted Jeremiah Trott Jr. Not because, and I hear that too, but it's because of his name. No, they drafted him because he brings that energy. And when you didn't have Edgerrin Cooper on that board anymore, you had to get a linebacker. And he's the last one there, so you had to grab him. But, they did take him because he was Trotter Jr. When you have that last name, you got to hold that torch. And I think his son will. I think I think he starts. I think he is going to benefit off Devin White. Well, I think a lot of people are making him like he's not good anymore. I'm telling you, Devin White's going to have a bounce back year. This secondary is going to be nasty. If everything pans out, you got to have at least a top 10 defense by the end of the year. If not, it's disgraceful. And it's up to these coaching staff. You gave them the players, you gave them the pieces. Now go out there and win some championships. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't fall on your face like you did last year. There's no excuse this year. When you get a Saquon Barkley, when you get a C.J. Gardner-Johnson, when you go out and draft 2 corners, you better be that good. I'm not accepting no one and done season. Someone got to get fired. If we're down by one, if our record is 1-3. Someone got to get fired. If we're even down, if our record is 2-3, you got to go. You got to go. It has to be an NFC Championship game this year, man. It has to be an NFC Championship game this year. I don't give a damn about these other teams. I'm looking at my team. Last year hurt me desperately. Because even as bad as our coaches were, if we just somehow play decent, we're in the Super Bowl. I truly believe we would beat the Lions. And I truly believe we would knock out the 49ers in their home. That's how good our team was. But our coaching staff lost that game. And this year, I'm looking at Nick Sirianni. Yeah, the puppet master, him. I'm looking at you. Stay away from the play calling. I don't need Nick Sirianni to have his hands on the play calling. Just sit there with your hands behind your back like you're getting arrested. Just sit there put your hands up your ass, do whatever you can. Just don't touch the play calling. Don't. You don't need to. You can't call plays, and we know that. Let Kellen Moore call the plays. If he fails, then he's out of here. But at least you know it's Kellen Moore. I couldn't tell when it was Brian Johnson last year. I don't even know if it was Brian Johnson or Nick Sirianni. It could have been both. But it was horrible. And hopefully this year, Kellen Moore can actually have the final say in the play calling. I don't want my head coach to be interfere with the coaching staff and what they're doing. I don't need the front office. Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie, they love to intervene sometimes. I don't want to see my owner intervene with the passing. No, just sit there in the owner box and do what you got to do. And just sit there and collect the tickets and collect the money that you get. Because I think sometimes when we're successful, our front office, Jeffrey Lurie and Howie Roseman, try to intervene with the play call. You are not a football coach. I need you to sit there and just stay over there. Let the coaches that you hire do their damn job. And that's what I hope for. You know, you got a running back in this draft. Don't know too much about him, but they like him. They like him. And anything except Kenny Gainwell, I'm okay with. Look, I hope that that dude does not win the job at all this year. Matter of fact, we need to make sure he has to earn it. Because these players be getting so many passes, it's ridiculous. Kenny G and Nakobe Dean has to earn their job. They should not be given the permission to be the number one linebacker or the number two linebacker on this roster. They have to go and earn it. Especially the wide receiver 3, too. That has to be earned, too. I'm not giving it to Devontae Parker. I'm not giving it to Paris Campbell. Why? Because you're a free agent? No, go and earn it. We talk about competition, right, Nick? So hopefully we don't give these guys jobs because they've been here longer when they don't deserve it. They have to go earn things. If I just ask for everything without going out and earning things, then I'm never ever going to learn anything. I'm never ever going to try to get better because I'm always going to think everything has to be handed out to me. When I want a job, I go out and get a job. I don't wait for people. I call up and make sure that I'm employed. Oh, I hope they call me. No, get your ass up and go get a job. Go fill a form online or offline, whatever what the company says to do. Some of them have online. Some of them have where you can just go in there and sign a form and go get a job. And that's what I hope our players do. Go out and get yours. Go and claim your spot. Jordan Davis has to step up. I need him to play. You drafted a first-round pick. This is a first-round pick. Now, I think that in the beginning of the year, and I'm not saying this is fault, you saw the potential he has. I mean, this dude chased down Josh Allen. You know how fast Josh Allen is? And Jordan Davis was able to chase him down. But he ended up, being out of breath. And we haven't heard from him ever since. But like I said, I'm not blaming these players, man. I'm starting off new with these players. I'm not saying anybody should be fired. Other than Gainwell, because he stinks, and I don't want him on the field. But everybody else has a clean slate. The coach staff was horrible. It was horrendous. It's a new year. I'm excited. Man, I'm excited for training camp. I'm excited for preseason. Man, I'm waiting for football season to start now. That first game is going to feel like victory. Just watching this team, man. I mean, how can you not be excited? So obviously we got an issue that I have to talk about. We signed Mekhi Becton, the guard. You already got your guard in the building, man. You drafted the dude from Michigan. You know how good he is? You know why he fell? He fell because of injuries. And when you had so much offensive line that was in the draft, guys that shouldn't have been falling that far fell. That dude, Keegan, that we drafted, mark my words, what I said about Landon Dixon, And I said about other guys. He's going to be a Pro Bowler. He has to be your guard, man. I'm sorry, but Tyler Steen, I don't know what he is. I don't know what he is. The dude that we signed in free agency, why? You know what I'm saying? We signed him. He's coming off injuries. I mean, is he a dead piece? He probably is a dead piece. But I'm going to make a prediction right now. I think Keegan is your guard. I think it's going to be Landon Dixon, Trevor Keegan, Jordan Mailata, Lane Johnson, and Cam Jurgensen at center. That is a good offensive line. And that's not something you should be ashamed of. That is a scary offensive line, just on paper. Not saying they're going to do it on the field, because I don't know what they're going to do on the field. But that's what I would go for. Why not give Keegan the chance? He showed it. He showed it in Michigan. That dude was a beast. That man was making grown men look like a scrub. He was bullying people. I swear to God, he was bullying people on the offensive line. No one was getting a sack. He hasn't allowed a sack yet. Why not make him the dude? Now, I get he has to go and earn it, which I respect. But I'm going to tell you right now, he's going to be our guard. He's going to be our right guard. Or is it left guard? I don't remember. It's somewhere guard. Probably right guard. You know what I'm saying? Niners fan dropping by to help with the algorithm show. I appreciate that. Shout out to my guy, Gamon Brown, man. Appreciate for coming on, dude. What up, Doomsday, Corner Sports? How you doing, man? So, yeah, I mean, dude, like, I'm excited for the season. I'm excited for the season. It's going to be fun. You know what I'm saying? And just the fact that you have some depth at offensive line, I can't complain. Can't complain, man. But I would tell you, Trevor Keegan, look out for him. Also, a guy that I'm really high up on is Ainias Smith. Do you know how good that dude is? And people want to shit over the pick. I see some Eagle fans say, well, he stinks. Man, you don't watch football if you think that. Because I'm going to tell you something right now. He would have been a first round or either early second round pick if he didn't get hurt. That man fell because, number one, the wide receivers for the draft was stacked. If they weren't stacked, Ainias Smith would have been a first round or at least an early second round. You got this dude in the fourth. He's going to ball out. Did you see how emotional he got? He was so happy to get picked. And that's a guy that truly cares. It's not bad to see guys have emotion. Now, everybody want to make fun of them. Hey, listen, man, it's a happy day for their life. But Ainias Smith is going to be your number 3. I truly believe that. I think Devontae Parker, I think Paris Campbell is off the damn team. I don't think they're going to make it. That's my prediction right now. I think we're going to keep Ainias Smith. I think he's going to be your number 3. He is a beast. And if you remember right, I know Diamond's Crew Sports Podcast, we were talking about him too. It was one of my guys I wanted. I was looking at that type of guy. You know, Ainias Smith from Texas A&M. Just imagine him and A.J. Brown, Devontae. Now, there was other series that we wanted, but that was one of the guys I was looking at. He's big. He's fast. He's not the biggest dude, but he can burn people. He has good route running. He does something that Quez Watkins couldn't do. He goes to the ball. He's not afraid to put his pads on you and lower his shoulder. He'll make you pay. If you miss him one time, he's gone. This kid is explosive. This kid can pretty much catch anything you throw at him. He's going to be a huge target for Jalen Hurts. If he is what I think he is, this receiving core got a lot better than what it was before. And now you got to worry about Barkley in the backfield. Good luck. Like I said 2 years ago, pick your poison. How you want to play this team? How you want to play this team? Because we can kill you both ways. And last year we would have killed you both ways if our offense coordinator was good. And I truly believe that Kellen Moore also has something to prove too. This man is going for a coaching job sooner or later. This could be his year. And a lot of people have been crapping on the Kellen Moore pick. Listen, was it my number one choice? Kind of, yeah. It was kind of my number one choice. You had nobody else really. Who were you going to hire? Now we definitely didn't want Nick Sirianni back. Now there were some people who wanted Nick Sirianni back. I did. But you got the great offense coordinator that can cost, that has X and O's, genius playbook in his hands. What I'm trying to say is this dude is a genius. Despite what Cowboy fans say, despite what anybody else says, this guy's going to have a perfect opportunity to do something special with this receiving core that we have, the weapons that we have around the quarterback. Same with Fangio. There's no excuse this year, dude. I hope Fangio tightens up, especially in the playoffs, man, because that's when he's bad. Because what I saw from Kansas City, better not see that in Philadelphia. You got players in that building, man. I need to see some aggressiveness. I don't expect you to be a lot aggressive. I don't expect you to be so aggressive where, okay, I don't expect you to be Jim Johnson. No one's Jim Johnson. No one is Buddy Ryan, okay? But you still can be a good defense coordinator. Jim Schwartz wasn't a fan favorite, but he got the job done and won a Super Bowl. Now, did I like his scheme? No. But he was pressuring the quarterback. I'm never going to like Fangio's scheme. But you know what? Those schemes, if you do it right, can win a championship. But it's going to tell me, and I don't need to see 5 games, 6 games, 7 games to tell me what this team is. Again, we have a long ways. We still got the schedule coming out. It has to come out soon. I can't wait to see the schedule. But I'm interested to see what this team will look like by week 4. If it's week 3 and we still look like trash, then I'm going to say we're trash. Last year, it didn't take me 3 games to figure out what this team was. The other consecrators got mad at me for saying that. I told you that team was terrible. I don't need to see 4 to 5 games, 6 games to tell you what this team is. You should know what this team is by week 4 or week 3. Are we good or are we not? If we're struggling to put points on the board and we're struggling to tackle, then we're not a good football team. Then hold your horses because it's going to be a long season. And hopefully that's not the case. I don't want to see that ever again what I saw last year. And that was an abomination. And the only reason why you were 10-1 that year was because of Jalen Hurts. Well, not 10-1. You were leading the division. You had the number 1 seed wrapped up. Probably not 10-1, but 10-2, whatever it was. It was something that we could have had the number 1 seed. And we blew it because of coaching staff. Coach staff finally exposed his ugly head. So, I want to see this team show a different attitude. And it's going to show me if Nick Sirianni really lost the locker room or didn't. Should we have brought him back or should we have kept him? It's going to tell me a lot about this team. If this team doesn't respond, then yeah, Nick Sirianni got to go now. Because that means you lost that team from the beginning. But hopefully you didn't. You know what I'm saying? Diamond Crew, what's up? You want to talk your shit? For sure, man. For sure. And shout out to you. Definitely go subscribe to him, man. If you haven't, go definitely subscribe. I'm sure you have. You know what I'm saying? But I'm excited, man. I'm excited for the season, dude. I really am. My Orioles are doing good this year. They beat the Yankees. Now we need a closer, but still. I just ordered an Orioles hat that's coming through soon. Can't wait to put that on. You know what I'm saying? Because I got no Orioles hats at all. I lost mine. I don't know what happened to it. Things just disappear around here. You know what I'm saying? But I'm excited. I'm excited for this offseason, man. I'm excited to see what this team is. If you're not excited, then hey, I don't know how you can't be. Yeah, is there players that I would rather have? Absolutely, and that's every year. But you get over it. You go what you have. Now I will say this, man. I wish Howard Roseman would address the linebacker situation a little bit more this year. But we're making progress if you want to be real. Because this dude has never drafted 2 corners in the first round. Okay? He was not the GM when they were drafting Sean Brown and Lito Shepherd. Joe Banner was. And Andy Reid drafted those guys. So the fact that this man drafted 2 corners, A+ for him. Because we've been begging for corners. You can't go in the season with James Bradbury. I'm sorry. He has to go, man. He has to go. He's making too much money. And his cap hit is huge. That's why you can't trade him. You gotta wait for June 1st to extend him, then release him. So you don't take a cap hit. But this goes back to why you have to draft corners. Because we had no choice this year. Because I truly believe the Eagles made the playoffs, they wouldn't have drafted a corner. They would have never drafted a corner. They would have taken another defense tackle or another defense man. We had to draft a corner because the way we got embarrassed, you couldn't overlook it. You couldn't overlook it. They had no choice but to secure the position at corner or /DB, whatever you want to call it. When you get it torched the way you did last year. So adding a Mitchell, well, I think a lot of people are sleeping on. I see all this Arnold talking. I like Terrion Arnold. But I see all these other people talk about different players. Why aren't they talking about Mitchell? This dude was the number 1 corner ranked. But you know what? This is why they do it, because he's in Philadelphia. If he was in New York, Dallas, Washington, hell, the Ravens, they would have talked about Quinyon Mitchell all day. They talked about it one time on Good Morning Football. I counted one time he sat down with a coach and he talked about it. That was it. But they talk about other stuff over and over again. He's not getting a lot of love that he's supposed to have. They talk about him being, he comes from a small school. Well, I think this is a good pick. And, they show Michael Parsons. Who gives a damn what Michael Parsons says or does? Michael Parsons needs to go up to Jerry Jones and ask him why doesn't he do something about it. If you feel the way you do, Michael Parsons, do something and help Jerry Jones out. You're over there sulking with a Houston Texans quarterback with C.J. Stroud. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? You don't. If you're so mad about it, tell Jerry Jones to start acting like he should be, and that is a damn GM or /owner, whatever he is, because he's doing that. Like I said yesterday, a Cowboy fan told me at work. I asked him. I said, "How do you feel about the draft?" He gonna tell me, "Oh, I think we did good." Really? And I asked him, "Do you? So you don't think you need another corner?" He said, "We got DaRon Bland." I said, "He's trash." Oh, he's not trash. He was leading interceptions against scrubs. Now, what happened when he played against the Buffalo Bills? Got destroyed. What happened when he played against the Seahawks? Got destroyed. What happened when he versed the Eagles? Got destroyed. The 49ers got destroyed. The Arizona Cardinals got destroyed. You want me to keep going? Oh, great. You picked off Sam Howell twice. Where's he at? Is he on Washington anymore? No, he's not. He's with Seattle. They traded him. So stop with the nonsense. And it's the problem with some of these Cowboy fans. When you talk to them, they sound illiterate. They sound like they don't know what they're talking about. Well, he laid picks. Yeah, well, did he have one in the playoff game? Because I didn't see it. Did he have one when you had to put him on the best receiver? No, he didn't. He didn't have a pick at all. He never had a pick, I don't believe, in there serious when we played y'all twice. Gilmore did. I don't think Gilmore had a pick. But come on, man. That man is terrible. He's buns, and he's going to get his ass lit up again. I'm glad the Cowboys didn't draft corner. Go in and draft their offensive lineman, dude who don't even play football. You drafted Guyton. I'm so glad the Eagles stayed away from him. I heard a lot about him, but when you watch him, he's not ready to start day one. And they're going to learn that quickly. He is not ready to start day one. They drafted him way too early. Because he probably would have been there in the second round if you want to be real. Or some team would have taken him, but he would have been better in a situation like the Eagles took him and they just sat him behind Lane Johnson. But this guy is not going to start day one. If he does, just know he's going to go through a lot of rookie pains. Just know that. The Cowboys had one of the worst drafts. I think their best pick, like I said, was Cooper Beebe. Beebe, the offensive lineman. The rest was terrible. You didn't improve, and you're going to be dead last. But you know what? I hope you're not dead last because I want you to suffer and make sure you never draft a quarterback. I don't want you to end up with Shedeur Sanders. I hope you were in the playoffs and we beat the dog crap at you. Matter of fact, you didn't even go make the division round anyway because your quarterback is Dak Prescott. And he's going to go 2-6 like I predict. I already predict them to go 2-6. I don't even need to see a year. I already know who they are. They're the same team every year. Fans are going to hype themselves up. Every game that they win, they're going to sit there. Like I said, it's like a triangle. You ever seen those memes? Look what they're doing now. Already trying to get themselves into the Cowboys season. Already talking crap. Sitting there telling me, a Cowboy fan told me today that Zeke Elliott is better than Saquon Barkley. He was. He ain't anymore. Zeke Elliott is also doesn't have an offensive lineman. You brought a running back who is literally with no offensive line. Good luck with that. Because I've never seen Zeke Elliott with a bad offensive lineman yet. And when he had a bad offensive lineman, he didn't go anywhere. But good luck with that. You got no corners other than Diggs, who gets burnt. You got no other corner other than Diggs. You got no real safeties. You didn't get who did you get as a defensive end? Nobody. Y'all stink. And you're going to be bad this year. But you know how I look at this division? Yes, the Giants had a great draft, but they got Daniel Jones. They ain't going too far. They might be tanking next year again for a quarterback. They're going to start out what they always do. They're going to lose 5 to 6 games, and they're going to continue down the streak of losing. Same with the Commanders. I don't think the Commanders are going to be what they are. Everybody thinks they are. I think they're going to be bad this year. They're going to have a young rookie quarterback that's going to be starting. And they're going to have to go through as a team with growing pains. So, that leads the Dallas Cowboys. I think the Eagles run away with this division easily. And I don't think it's going to be competitive at all. I understand they got Jaden Daniels. He's a rookie. He's a rookie. And Dan Quinn might be a good defense coordinator, but he's not a good coach. And his resume speaks for itself. Well, he made it to the Super Bowl, lost it. He also was fired by the Falcons for losing games that he should have won. That's why the Cowboys picked him up as a defense coordinator. And he was a great defense coordinator. Your defense is going to be good. But I don't know how the offense is going to be. I don't know what Jaden Daniels is. But I would love a competitive division. But I think right now, you got to look at the Eagles. You got to say this team's further than behind them, further above these other teams that we have in our division. I don't see anybody beating us in our division. I think we sweep the whole division this year. Maybe we split with Dallas, because we always do. But we're sweeping the Giants, and we're definitely sweeping the Commanders. I'm not scared of no Jaden Daniels. Yeah, he's a good rookie quarterback. You drafted the quarterback. Hopefully he pans out. I heard this with Dwayne Haskins, rest in peace to him. But he was supposed to be the next great quarterback. Didn't last. Sam Howell was supposed to be that guy. Didn't last. Carson Wentz was supposed to be that guy. Didn't last. I don't think Jaden Daniels is going to do what everybody thinks he's going to do. I think he's going to go through growing pains. And unfortunately, these Commander fans are going to be on his behind saying this guy ain't that guy. And I'm just going to say like it. Sam Howell, you got to give him a year to see what he is. He's going to be on his rookie year. He's going to go through growing pains. Don't have high expectations. Keep it low. Keep it low. If you think you're going to be in the division for winning the division, you're smoking crack. But knowing the Commander fans, they're going to sit there and say, we're going to beat the Eagles. No, you're not. No, you're not. Because you don't even know who your quarterback is for real. And you sure hell don't know who your coach is for real. I think it's going to be Eagles and Dallas for the division again, unfortunately. Because the division is going to be terrible. The division is going to be terrible. And unfortunately, Dallas Cowboy fans are going to be in the mix for the division. And we're going to run away with this division easily. Because I don't think they're going to – that's why I'm saying the Cowboys better hope they make more moves than what they have been. Because they're going to have to keep up with this Eagles team. This team is going to remind me a lot like 17 Eagles when I watched them. You know how they just kept on running away with the division? Yeah, that's what's going to be this year. It's not going to be competitive. It's not going to be, oh, these teams. No, I don't think so. I know the Eagles, well, they haven't shown anything yet. Listen, here's the difference between you and I. I don't need to see what my team is. I know what my team is. I don't need to tell you what my team is. When I told you, I mean, I was on my channel, but in the beginning of the season, when we got Alshon Jeffrey in 17, I said this Eagles team going to the Super Bowl. 22, I said the Eagles were going to the Super Bowl. I didn't need to see a year to tell you what this team is. Because if you know what this team is, and this coach staff, and listen, it's up to the coach staff for me. You got all the talent, just like last year. Hopefully this year, we have an offensive coordinator that knows how to call plays, which I think he does. But I ain't scared of no Jaden Daniels. I'm not scared of him. He's a rookie. Do I think he'll get better? Yes. Eventually. But you still got Daniel Jones in the division. Not scared of him. Yeah, they got a receiver. Whoopie-doo. Cool. That's one receiver. Meanwhile, your quarterback can't throw the ball. He's terrible in the pocket. And he throws a lot of interceptions. He's Danny interceptions for a reason. Danny pick 6. The Giants wanted to trade Daniel Jones in the beginning of the draft. They don't believe in Daniel Jones. They were willing to trade. There was a report that came out they wanted to trade all the way up in the top first to land one of those quarterbacks. And they were trying real hard to move up and take a quarterback with the wide receiver. But they couldn't because they couldn't do what Howard Roseman did. And that is move up, do all these draft picks, switch picks. They can't do that. Joe Schoen ain't on that type of level. He ain't on that type of level. He came from Buffalo. What is Buffalo known for? Being terrible. You think he's learning any tricks in Buffalo? Yeah, how to trade a whole future for one receiver just to trade him in 3 years for a second rounder and a bunch of late picks down the road and Stephon Diggs. Because they gave up a lot for Diggs. But that's the Buffalo Bills for y'all. Wasting talent, not winning shit when it comes to championships. Been to 4 Super Bowls and lost to all 4 with a stacked roster. The boys that love losing Super Bowls. That's what the Buffalo Bills are named. He said, I got 17 vibes. I do too. I do too, man. And you should feel that way. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not going to sit there and say, well, you know, we got to see, man, that's bitch shit, bro. Go over there with your scared ass if you don't have any confidence in your team. Well, we got to see what they do. You know, it's a lot. Stop it. Stop. You really honestly think the Commanders just got better overnight? Yeah, they drafted Jaden Daniels. They draft a quarterback every year. They drafted 4 this year, so down the last 2 to 3 years down, every year they drafted a quarterback. Between Dwayne Haskins, they traded for Carson Wentz, or before that they signed Alex Smith. I'm sorry, they traded for Alex Smith. How many quarterbacks have they went through? I'm not saying Jaden Daniels won't be good, because I like Jaden Daniels. But I don't know if they're going to actually do what everybody's saying they're going to do, and that is compete. They're going to compete for last place. They're going to compete with the damn Giants of who's going to take the number 1 pick next year, because it's going to take them a while to get back. Yeah, they signed some free agents. I like what they've done. But this team, this Eagles team, if they are who I think they are, stacked, dangerous, vicious. I don't see anybody messing with us. Nobody comes close to fucking with us. Well, you said that last year. Yeah, I did say that last year. Well, why do you think you're going to do it this year? Because we got better coaching. If you remember in the beginning of the season, I was very concerned with Brian Johnson. I did not want him as our offensive coordinator. I wanted Eric Bieniemy. I wanted another offensive coordinator that wasn't Brian Johnson. But I gave him a chance. I also was not a fan of Deshaun Asai. You saw me many times say I wasn't a fan of Deshaun Asai. I wanted Lovie Smith. I wanted that Georgia defense coordinator. You could have got that dude from Michigan who went to the Chargers. There were so many other defense coordinators, but they waited too long. So they had to hire a defense coordinator because they ran out of time. So they said, all right, here's Sean Asai. Oh, let's hire him. He's assistant defense coordinator? All right, let's hire him. You know what I'm saying? After you just lost the Super Bowl recently, you hire another guy that has no experience. That was a disaster waiting to happen. And then you go and hire Matt Patricia, who got fired by the Lions. Nobody wanted this a-hole because he treats his players like crap. He's not good at disguising coverages. And he was on the Belichick tree. He was from the Bill Belichick coaching staff. How many times have we seen coaches go from there to another team and end up getting fired in the next 2 years? Joe Judge. Mike McDaniels. Not Mike McDaniels. Josh McDaniels got fired twice. Mike Vrabel's out of the job. Bill Belichick's out of the job. Should we continue? Joe Judge, I don't even know where he's at. Probably out of the job. He was out of the job with the Giants. So why would you hire a guy like that? And by the way, that's the same dude who had an issue with Slay. They talked it out. They didn't talk nothing out. They probably were, like what we always do when we see our managers that we don't like, our former manager, we neutral, we respectful, but trust and believe it, we're not going to sit out to dinner and talk like we're friends. Because I don't forget what people say, and I'm sure Slay don't forget what people say. This dude really said something that he shouldn't have, and that's why he was fired. And also, he was terrible as a coach. But you brought that dude back. Why? Why? It also don't help. And I keep on saying the joint practices are not real games. When you're rusty and you have no experience because the starters didn't play at all. I mean, it was bad when you had nobody from the starters playing. Where in 2022, they played and they were better because of that. And hopefully this year, joint practice don't take over like they always do. Because you're not really hitting nobody. You can't touch the quarterback. You can't do none of that. In preseason, you can do all that. Because you're playing actual games, not real games that count, but games where people are going to hit you. Or joint practice, they're not hitting you. They're touching you. It's like tag, you're it. You're not really feeling for the game. You're not really getting yourself ready for games. It's pretty much like practice. Everybody going to look good against you. But it's different when you're physically hitting each other. So when the Eagles played the first game, well, lo and behold, they were rusty. It felt like it was preseason, the way they came out, because that's what they were in. All year, they were in preseason. They never got out of that mode. So they never got used to, okay, the game's starting out. And by the time the game started and they started to come through, it was too late. Because they started getting exposed. Because other teams were ready. And they were out of the preseason mode. They were in real games. And they were willing to go out and put points on that board. And their coach staff wasn't a bunch of dummies who had no clue how to run an offense to save their life. Brian Johnson, Nick Sirianni. So hopefully Kellen Moore is a lot better. And I think he is. I'm still waiting for his press conference. I didn't see that. I didn't see Fangio. When are we going to get a Fangio press conference? Did he have one? I let me know. I haven't seen one. But I mean, you would think they would introduce the new defense coordinator. I guess they're not, he doesn't want one. I don't know. It's weird. I don't get it. I'm waiting for his press conference because I want to see what I would love to hear what Fangio had to say. You know, what does he think? How's he going to use these players? We have not heard from him at all. We heard glimpses of him when he's with players and interacting with the guys like C.J. Gardner-Johnson. You saw him there. But we haven't seen a press conference with him talking, picking his brain, seeing what he's all about, how he's going to be able to use his defense. What coverage is he going to use? Is he going to blitz? Is he not going to blitz? I want to see what Fangio has to say. I would love to see his press conference. Same with Kellen Moore. I didn't see anything. I see Nick Sirianni. But I don't see the true genius that's really calling the plays. Is he getting the press conference? Is he going to get an introduction? I mean, hey, I'm just wondering. Are we ever going to hear from them? Maybe they'll do it in training camp. Maybe they'll do it down the road. But it's just crazy. You would think when they hire someone, they would get a press conference. New coach staff, get a new introduction. Talks to the media for the first time in a suit and tie. We didn't see that at all. It's crazy. You know? But yeah, man, I mean, dude, I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I mean, you got Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown for years to come. You got Saquon Barkley. Years to come. Hurts is already on the contract. You got all your pieces still together. Howie Roseman has to be one of the best GMs in football. If he's not, I mean, who is? Who's comparing to Howie Roseman? Don't tell me John Lynch is compared to Howie Roseman. Don't do that. Because he's over there came in 40s, both his receivers. Joe Shane on Howie Roseman's level. Who is he? What moves has he made that's been beneficial? Brandon Beane, come on, stop it. There's only one GM that's the greatest GM right now in the NFL, and that's Howie Roseman. You can argue the Chiefs owner, okay, Chiefs GM. But other than that, no, I don't think so. He's definitely number 2. I would argue he's number 1. But, the Chiefs right now are in front of me because that GM over there, I don't know. He's doing what Howie Roseman's doing, and that is creative moves. So the Chiefs expect to spend at least so Rashee Rice is expected to be spent for at least a half of the season. That's huge, man. That's huge. That's huge. Just looking at updates. So Pro Football Focus, it gave the Eagles an A+, Washington an A, the New York Giants an A-, and they give the Cowboys a B-. Interesting. We're going to find out what this team is all about, man. We definitely going to find it. You said Jerry Jones is a liar? Of course Jerry Jones is a liar. I mean, why would you believe anybody who literally sits there in a press conference and talks about going all in when you haven't gone all in since 98? I mean, come on. Jerry Rice's son is in the league now. When are you going to go all in? This dude, every time you hear him, he's looking like he's about to literally fall asleep. Wake up, Jerry. Time to do something, Jerry. No, he's satisfied with the 5 Super Bowls he has. He doesn't care about them other Super Bowls that he can get. He don't care about that. Because if he really cared, he could have done something how Roseman did. They don't care. They satisfied it. And Cowboy fans are finally realizing that Jerry Jones is over his head. His time is up. They better hope Stephen Jones won't take over when Jerry Jones is gone and he's not with us anymore. Or not with the Cowboy fans anymore. Because if he is, you got Jerry Jones Jr., who will never win a Super Bowl ever again. You better hope you get a new ownership because that's what y'all need. Your franchise is done. They got they rich. They don't. Why do you think some of these teams, some of these old teams like the Raiders, all these teams, they don't want to win a championship anymore because they already got spoiled enough. I had a Cowboy fan today tell me about a Super Bowl. That's funny because I was talking about your playoff record with your quarterback, and this dude went, how many Super Bowls you have? How many Super Bowls have you been to recently? That's my question. How many Super Bowls have the Dallas Cowboys been since 2000? 0. But keep talking. And you're probably too young to remember those Super Bowls, dummy. When you were in your Batman pajamas, drinking out your freaking Elmo sippy cup. Stop it. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and Full House was on the last time the Dallas Cowboys were even in the conversation for a Super Bowl. They were still on air. Those characters are still young when you were winning championships. Will Smith is in his 60s now. Bob Saget recently died. He had hair when he was in your time, when you were bragging about them Super Bowls. If you don't have gray hair on your head, you didn't see any. If you're not at least 45 to 50 years old, you didn't see any. Just shut up about your Super Bowls when you haven't seen one with your eyes. Because some of y'all haven't. You just be saying something that your team did years ago without actually witnessing that glory moment. You haven't won recently a championship, and you probably never will. That's just the truth. That's just the truth. Say what you want. Your franchise is going downhill, if it hasn't already gone downhill. The Eagles are clearly every year been in at least to the NFC Championship game. And y'all haven't got to the NFC Championship game since Troy Aikman was your quarterback. Barry Switzer was your last head coach to do something. You've been through how many coaches now? You went through Bill Parcells, Jason Garrett, Mike McCarthy. Hell, if you want to go a little bit further, you fired Jimmy Johnson because Jerry Jones' ego was too big. He thought because he supposedly he thought he was more of the real winner, and fired a Hall of Fame Super Bowl winning head coach. And Barry Switzer was able to do 1 year of just having the exact same team, and whatever was left, they won a Super Bowl. But after that team was done. That team is done. And it's been done since then. Now you got on cars that are literally push buttons. You didn't have that back then. You actually had to use your key and start the damn car. You didn't have flat screens back then. You had an old TV that you see in your grandma's homes. And slash, when you go to, your grandfather's house. The old ass TV? I had one when I was when it was 2003. And literally, it was black and white. There was some color, but it wasn't like what we have now. Now you really can see everything. Well, back then you couldn't. Not clearly like you see now. Now we got HD TVs that are literally 10 times better. You still had a CD player. I mean, CD players didn't even come out yet. You had to actually put tapes in your fucking CD player or a tape player, tape recorder, whatever you want to call it, just to listen to music. Now you could go on YouTube and just download the song. You see what I mean? Times changed. Y'all Cowboy fans are still not changing with the times. Jerry Jones still hasn't changed with the times because he's mentally gone. Sad to say it, but look at him. He's mentally gone. He doesn't know what year it is. If you ask him what year it was today, I don't think he remembered. This guy can't even remember to not show his draft card. That 1 year, he literally showed it to everyone. Why everyone was able to take his players. The dummy don't even know how to stop using the stuff that got him losing players. I mean, he keeps on showing his draft card. He says dumb stuff. Jerry Jones is completely done. His mind is gone. As you get older, you start having Alzheimer's. You start not remembering things. That is Jerry Jones right now. We're seeing the Jerry Jones that Father Times is catching up to him. He's going out like Al Davis soon, man. It's going to be sad, and I don't wish that, but that's part of life. Jerry Jones don't care anymore. He knows he's not seeing another Super Bowl. And you probably will never see the Super Bowl ever again, Dallas. Not unless Stephen Jones is no longer your successor, Jerry Jones goes. Because y'all in trouble if that happens. But I would love that, man. Jerry Jones leaves, disappears off the earth. Sad day, but here comes Stephen Jones taking over the Dallas Cowboys. Deja vu again. You better hope you sell that damn team and find an owner that actually cares about y'all. Just saying. I mean, I'm excited about this team, bro. See, we got something to look forward to. Cowboy fans, they got hope. But hope runs out for them. I love how they talk about, Dak Prescott, it's not his fault. It's never the quarterback's fault. It's always the defensive coordinator's fault. It's Mike McCarthy's fault. Now, Mike McCarthy, I've said all along, is a horrible coach. I personally would have fired him last year. Do I think he was part of the problem why they didn't go far? Of course. You didn't hire a good coach. You hired Jason Garrett 2.0, what I've been always saying. They told me Mike McCarthy was a genius. Remember this year he was going to take over play calling. It's going to be different than Kellen Moore. We're going to have a great coach that knows how to play call. Then you go to the playoffs, and look, lo and behold, Mike McCarthy can't call plays. I heard Cowboy fans saying that Dak Prescott has been treated badly. Really. So it's their fault that they gave him a contract. This man demanded top money. He got it, and he only showed 2 fucking wild card games in his last 8 years of his career. I'm sorry. Whose fault was that again? Oh, it was Mike McCarthy's fault? Oh, no, it was Jerry Jones' fault. Sorry. Jerry Jones supposed to throw the ball to him. I forgot. Jerry Jones, it's how dare they criticize Dak Prescott, who has only managed 2 wild card games. You know how embarrassing it is? Well, Jalen Hurts didn't make it to the – Jalen Hurts had been to a Super Bowl. Well, he didn't win it, but Dak has never got there. So it's like when you do that, and these Cowboy fans love doing that. Well, Jalen Hurts choked, but Dak chokes in playoff games. How are you going to talk about someone that's been there, but your quarterback can't get there? That's what I don't understand with Cowboy fans. You're saying one thing, but your quarterback can't do it. You can't talk about no Super Bowl. Your quarterback has never done it. Your quarterback has never been to an NFC Championship game where confetti flew down on the ground. I didn't see one time where the Cowboys been to a division round and actually won one. Matter of fact, I don't think Dak Prescott has been past the division round. Because he stinks in the playoffs. He's doing something he's not supposed to. And it don't matter what coach you get, that quarterback that you praise all the time, that you won't hold accountable. They say, well, we hold Dak accountable. I've never seen that in my lifetime. You Cowboy fans say you hold Dak accountable, but I hear a lot of excuses for him. Well, it's not his fault. You got to understand. No, I don't got to understand nothing. I don't got to understand nothing. The man has 2 fucking wild card games under his belt. That's it. He should have been at least at a 1 Super Bowl appearance, at least 1 Super Bowl appearance. Or at least an NFC Championship game. CJ Stroud has made it further than Dak. Matter of fact, if he has it, he will. Every quarterback has made it further than Dak. Mahomes has done more than Dak. And Dak was already there before Mahomes has gotten there. Jalen Hurts in the second year made it to the Super Bowl. Why can't your quarterback not do that? Why? Why can't your quarterback not finish his food? Why can't your quarterback not show up like he's supposed to, like a highest paid quarterback that you paid him? You paid this man $60 million. $60 million. And I'm so glad the Cowboys. Listen, The smart thing would be let Dak walk because he will never do nothing. He's going to be another Kirk Cousins going somewhere. If you think Dak's going to win a Super Bowl, you're out of your mind. He doesn't have the mindset to win a championship. It's not about the physical. You can have all the physical traits you want. You got to have the mindset, and he doesn't. He has a weak mindset. He has a weak mindset. He has not had one time where he showed up in a playoff game and put his team on his back. And you got guys like Parsons' brother over there on Twitter, literally lying out his mouth, literally watching him say that Dak Prescott had a good playoff game. Which one was that? The wild card games with old ass Tom Brady and Russell Wilson were dealing with several players out. You mean the same Seattle Seahawks team that couldn't have beat the Vikings for real and lost? I'm sorry, not the Vikings. I think they lost to the Cardinals by a field goal. That team that you beat, really? Are you really happy about that team? Really? Great, you won a wild card game. But have you done anything after that? No, you haven't. You don't even have to answer that. I already know that answer. Everybody knows that answer. Your quarterback is 2-5. Well, it's not his fault. Whose fault is it? I'm sorry. Whose fault is it? Your owner gave him receivers. He traded a first-round pick for Amari Cooper. He got a number one running back for him for most of his career. Zeke Elliott was his bell cow, was the whole offense, if you want to be real. That's why they brought him back, because they don't trust Dak. Look at the moves that Jerry Jones has made. Now, one of them has been offensive receiver for Dak Prescott. They didn't go out and get him weapons. They got offensive linemen. Guys are not even going to be starters day one. Probably 2 to 3 years at the max when they finally get a new quarterback in Dallas. And Dak is out that door. Look at the signals. When you heard Jerry Jones talk about, we want to get Dak signed. But it's no, they don't. They're saying we're not going to build around Dak anymore. That was the last straw with him. We know we can't trade him. So we're going to make sure he has he's going to have his last year in Dallas. And hopefully we're that bad where we can draft a quarterback. And the funny thing is Dak ain't going to be able to do that. Dak is going to be greedy. Dak is not going to care about the team. And he's going to go out there and he's going to make sure they get into the playoffs. Just to lose in a wild card game or in the divisional game. And it's going to set them back where they're not be able to draft a quarterback. And he's going to walk. And they're going to have to sign some other quarterback in 2025. And I'm going to laugh my ass off. And Michael Parsons is going to be leaving in free agency. Well, no, he'll get paid. CeeDee Lamb's going to be the one walking out that door. And he's going to go somewhere else. They're going to get top money. Michael Parsons is overrated. Michael Parsons is overrated. Yeah, I mean, dude, he's overrated in the playoff games. He doesn't show up in the playoff games. But he's a good player. I'm not going to shit over Michael Parsons. I like Michael Parsons. I just wish he would stop talking about my team. You're a Dallas Cowboy. You don't even need to talk about my team. And I don't know why they keep on acting like Michael Parsons. Opinion matters what the Eagles do. You sad about the Jerry Jones not draft. Jerry Jones won't draft guys that you want anyway. Didn't you not get that? Jerry Jones don't draft guys that you want. Jerry Jones does what Jerry Jones wants. See, Howie Roseman and Jeff Lurie listens to the fans. They start doing that. And lo and behold, the fans who actually know football are helping them. You listened to us when we wanted Devonta Smith. Got him. A.J. Brown, come to Philadelphia. Fans wanted him. We got him. Right? I mean, come on. Cooper DeJean. That was a fan telling Howie Roseman over again to draft him. Because they were seeing so many comments about Cooper DeJean or Edgerrin Cooper, one of those two, which I guarantee they were on a high on the draft board. If we didn't get Cooper DeJean, I guarantee it would have been Edgerrin. But Cooper DeJean fell. And I understand why they did it. Because a first round pick like that falls, and I said if he's an early second round pick, I won't be mad. I just don't want him in the first round, especially when you have Mitchell. Like there was guys that were saying that I'd rather have him over Mitchell. No, that's ludicrous. I would not take him over Terrion Arnold. But in the second round, early second round, that's where he was projected to go, and you got him there. Now you had to move up a little bit, but you got him. He was the best player on the board. You take him. I'm not mad about it. What's your thoughts on the two receivers we drafted? Oh, I think Ainias Smith and is going to be a problem in this league. I think Ainias Smith is your day 3 wide receiver for day 1. I think he's your number 1 receiver. I mean, not number 1 receiver. He's going to be your number 3 receiver with Devontae and AJ. I'm telling you right now, he will be. If you think that guy's not going to make it on the roster, you're crazy. Look how Nick Sirianni was talking about him. See, you can tell when a player is going to start day 1. The way these coaches be talking about him. The way they were happy. They were surprised he was on that board. He really shouldn't have been on that board the time he picked. Someone should have taken him. The fact that man slide, one thing about beauty about the draft, guys that you don't think are going to fall, falls. Because there's so much talent. This receiving core in this draft was crazy talent this year, man. Defense was crazy, especially with corners. Stacked. Linebackers, not so much. Offensive linemen, somewhat stacked. But receivers, stacked. Some of those receivers that fell would have been first-round picks if Marvin Harrison Jr. didn't stay another year and decided. Let's say Marvin Harrison Jr. decided to go last year in the draft. Then Ainias Smith would have moved up. You wouldn't have got Ainias Smith. You wouldn't have got guys like the wide receiver from Florida. You wouldn't have got those guys. They would have been taken early. But the way the receivers were lined up and how much receiver there was on this draft, it was one of the best receiving class in a while. You had 2 potential Hall of Fame receivers go in the top first. Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to be a star in Arizona. Unfortunately, I think he's going to get, like I said before, I don't believe in Kyler Murray. And I sure hell don't think the Cardinals are going to win with him. I think he's going to be another Larry Fitzgerald, unfortunately. They're going to waste his talent. He's going to be a Hall of Fame receiver. But hopefully he does what Larry Fitzgerald didn't do. And that is when he has a chance to move away from the team, he does it. But I'm just glad the Giants didn't get him. But I ain't going to lie to you. Malik Nabers is a stud. Just he doesn't have a quarterback. So I'm not really worried about him. He's one receiver. But the Giants, they drafted some good players. But you had a lot of receivers in this draft. And Ainias Smith, if he didn't get hurt, at least early third or late second. Or he would have been at least a late first. But he got hurt. And that threw off his production. He was going crazy before he got hurt. Came back the next year. And still had a good year. So I don't know why he dropped. It doesn't make sense. But listen, the Eagles just got another receiver. Got another receiver that's going to be a playmaker for this team. He's going to ball out. And he's going to have guys that he's going to learn off from. When you got a guy like Devontae Smith, where he's able to run his routes are off the charts. Ainias Smith's going to benefit off that. When you got an A.J. Brown that can go up and get the ball, it's fast, that can be physical, that can run routes. He's going to benefit off that. And I expect Ainias Smith to be a number 3. I think Paris Campbell is going to be the guy that everybody's going to be shocked that's going to be cut. I think Devontae Parker is not going to make the team. I think he's going to get waived. I think Devontae Parker has to fight for his job. When you got Ainias Smith, I think you solidified your number 3. And I think he's better than Quez Watkins. And we have this year's receivers that we got between the wide receiver we got from Florida State and the dude that we got from Texas A&M are better than John Hightower and Quez Watkins that we got before. They're way better. They're way better than Gibson and these other guys, man. These guys fell because the receiving, especially for the receivers, was stacked in this draft. You had a lot of receivers that decide to opt out for last year's draft to stay another year and get drafted in 2023. Marvin Harrison Jr. technically was supposed to leave last year and go into that 2022 draft. Not 2022 draft, 23 draft. He decided to opt out and stay another year in 2024. I'm sorry, in 2023 and go into the 2024 draft. Same with Neighbors. Just saying. Remember, the Giants were supposed to get Marvin Harrison Jr. They had the number 1 pick last year, I believe. Right? Yeah. No, they had the number 3. Because they were hoping that Marvin Harrison Jr. would have been there. He chose to stay back another year. I like Johnny Wilson. He 6'7", 233, and still ran a 4.5. Yeah, and everybody talk about he's a tight end, man. He's not playing tight end. He's not playing tight end. And I would not use him as a tight end. When I look at him, I look at Michael Pittman Jr. That's if you watch how they drafted. Some of these receivers that you watch, especially for like a guy like Johnny Wilson, another guy that fell. And like I said, if Marvin Harrison Jr. didn't opt out and stay another year in college, like Neighbors too, they would have been at least early second rounders. I'm telling you right now, we got some stars in that building, man. I'm surprised Ainias Smith fell. If you go watch this man's tape, this guy ain't a 4th round pick, a 5th rounder. This guy's a dog. You would think this guy was at least a 2nd round pick. But you know what? I mean, guys fall for a reason. And hopefully that motivates them. They don't get too cocky. They fight for the jobs. And they go out there and they win their jobs. I'm sorry, they go out and win their position and earn that job that they're supposed to do. I'm sorry, supposed to do. You know, they're not given the job. They have to go earn it. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I like Ainias Smith a lot. He's not the biggest. I know he's not. But here's the thing. Slot receiver, I don't need a big receiver. I don't want a speed dude. I'm glad the Eagles didn't go after just speed. They went after a guy that knows how to run routes, can run routes, not just one route. Quez Watkins, one thing about him, he couldn't run any routes. He knew one route, and that was run straight. He couldn't come back to the ball. He struggled with some of the route running. That's why he struggled to get back to the ball most times. Because when he did run a route, it was slow. When you run a route, you're supposed to break. You're supposed to go fast. You're supposed to get out that route before that quarterback throws that ball. Now, when the quarterback throws the ball, that's when you break it right. No, you're supposed to run that route. That route should have been already ran. You're supposed to be looking at that quarterback, turn your back, and go to the ball. And some of these receivers don't do that. They wait for the ball to come to them, which leads to interceptions that you saw. When Jalen Hurts did that ball, some of these receivers weren't running to the ball. They were trying to wait for the ball to come to them. Like Quez Watkins, who didn't do shit in the playoff game. Oh, it's my time. My ass. And I like what Gilly the Kid said, by the way. I would have told him more, like he's a scrub. I wouldn't even talk to him. I wouldn't even go back and forth with that dude. He's in Pittsburgh, and he's probably going to be losing his job too. Because I don't know how you're going to beat out some of these receivers they have in Pittsburgh over there. Yeah, I mean, who's going to start over who? I would not be surprised if they cut him. It wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, he has all the speed. You know who else all has speed that we signed? John Ross, which I don't understand that move. But, he's a John Ross. Unfortunately, we signed John Ross today. 2 days ago. I don't know why. That man also can't catch. Hopefully, they put him as punt return, not receiver. But, Ainias Smith is a dog, man. The guy can run routes. Go watch him. And we went to our kick returns. I'm not looking at kick returns with him. Put him in number 3. Now pick your poison. How you want to play us? You got to worry about Saquon and Ainias Smith, and then you got to worry about AJ and Devontae Smith? Come on, man. That's a scary duel right there. That's deadly. And it's up to Ainias Smith, man. And I think Ainias Smith, by the way, has a YouTube channel. I subscribe to it. I think he's going to be motivated to shut people up. If you haven't watched Ainias Smith, man, you're going to watch a guy that's going to feast. He's not going to let that number 3 job get away. He's a hard worker. He's a guy that you want on that team. And he's gonna be, I'm telling you right now, he's gonna open up for AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. He's gonna be that guy that we have so much hype for that's gonna pan out. I'm gonna tell you right now, he is going to be in a conversation for Rookie of the Year. I'm gonna throw that out right now. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Ainias Smith. People call me crazy, but I have high expectation for this guy. I think he's going to have a chip on his shoulder, and he plays physical. Yeah, he's small, but he's physical. He can break in and out of routes. He can catch anything that you throw at him. I think he was, if I'm correct, wasn't he the number 1 receiver over in Texas A&M? And now he's your number 3? Or was he a number 2 over there? He's your number 3? So he's really a number 2 or a number 1 over in Texas A&M, and now he's your number 3? That's scary. That's scary, man. Because he would have been the Giants' number 1 for sure. They didn't draft Neighbors. You know what I'm saying? Giant fans now talk about, oh, well, this is a bad pick. Of course he's a bad pick because you didn't draft him. But if the Giants drafted him, oh, look at him and Neighbors. They're going to be so good. Oh, my God. You remember Jalen Hyatt? He was supposed to be that guy? Yeah. That's why they had to draft double receiver. They had to draft double receiver. But it is what it is, man. I'm not worried about the damn Giants. Let them think how they want to think. We already know that Saquon Barkley is their whole team. Their team went out the door. And then they paid Brian Burns. So the rules changed on them immediately afterwards. I blame the Giants. The Giants always do giant things. They don't got a quarterback. They're paying Daniel Jones. I told Giant fans. I told my guy, what's his name? I told everybody. The only one who understood was Bones. That you weren't drafting. Well, we're going to draft a quarterback. No, you're not. You still have Daniel Jones on your contract. Well, we're not. We're going to get rid of Daniel Jones. See, that's the illiterate, stupidest stuff that you can say when you physically can't get rid of Daniel Jones. You have a contract that is literally dead cap hit if you trade him. You can't get out of his contract. You have to wait for him to either opt out or they have to give Daniel Jones, or Daniel Jones have to give you permission to trade him. Go read his contract, how much he's making, how much is dead cap hit if you do decide to trade him. That's why they couldn't trade him. That's why the Giants couldn't get a quarterback. No one was taking Daniel Jones' contract. No team was going to take that. Nobody was taking his type of money that he was getting. That's why there was rumors the Giants were trying to move up to take a quarterback. They were offering, in my opinion, they were offering Daniel Jones and some draft picks. And the team laughed at them and said, we're not taking that contract. You got to pay some of it. So it fell through. They were stuck with Daniel Jones. They had to draft a receiver.
because that's what happens when a GM thinks he's smarter than what he is. And he came from Buffalo, a franchise that don't know how to win. And Joe Schoen came from Buffalo. Brian DeBall came from Buffalo. They're not winners. They've been in the playoffs every year, and they're like the Dallas Cowboys in the AFC. They choke. They choke. They're choke artists. They're no different than the Dallas Cowboys in the NFC East, except one thing. They go further than the Dallas Cowboys because at least Josh Allen made it to the NFC Championship game. But the Buffalo Bills are choke artists. So Brian Beane, whatever the GM is, who told Joe Schoen and Brian DeBall to go to the Giants, all they did was they rubbed their stink on the Giants franchise. Because you've got a bunch of losers who don't know how to run a football team. Brian DeBall came from Buffalo. They never won shit. So how would he know how to win a championship? Joe Schoen came from Buffalo. He don't know nothing about winning. He was on the Buffalo Bills. He only saw playoff losses. He knows nothing about winning. AFC Championship and Bills is Brandon Beane. I don't care if it's John Beane, Brandon Beane, Bill Beane, Bobby Beane, whatever his name is. He's a freaking he's a GM for the Buffalo Bills, and they're a loser franchise. He could be Phil Beane. I don't care. You get my point. That's all that matters. Appreciate for the comment though. No disrespect. I mean, I don't give a shit what his name is. The Beane family. I don't care. The Philadelphia Eagles are going to win Super Bowl 59 this upcoming season. Hopefully. Listen, it's up to this coach staff. I'm going to say this right now. I'm not going to say we're going to the Super Bowl because I didn't say that, right? That's what you can think. I did say that this reminds me of 17. And I predicted the Eagles in 17 to go to Super Bowl. I never said it on YouTube, but I said it outside. I think I started my channel in the late of 2017. Because I was still in school. But when you look at this football team, this team should definitely make at least the NFC Championship game. At least should have the number one seed. Or not even the number one seed, at least make the NFC Championship game. I know there's going to be a lot of good teams other than the Eagles are going to be fighting for that number one seed. But my God, man, if you do not make it to the NFC Championship game in 2024 to 2025, and we're not in that Super Bowl or at least in the NFC Championship game fighting for a Super Bowl appearance, I don't know what you want me to say. You thought last year's meltdowns were worse. Oh, you didn't see nothing yet. Oh, there's going to be so many Eagle fans going to call me a fake fan. Oh, look at you being a fake fan again. Yeah, you're right. When my team stinks, I want to say what I have to say. It's not a fake fan. You're the fake fan for allowing the bullshit to continue. If you accept that this Eagles team is okay not making it to the NFC Championship game, go ahead and take a seat. Sit over there with your thumb up your ass, thumb in your mouth, whatever you want to do. Pick your nose, do whatever you want because you're not on my level. You're a little kid to me. You got a little kid mindset. I'm looking at the mindset of an adult, and that is winning a championship. You got so many years to get it done. Get it done now. I'm tired of saying the next year. I'm tired of seeing Mahomes holding that Lombardi trophy. It's time to get ours. You don't bring Saquon Barkley in if you're not going to the Super Bowl. I don't care what anybody says. This ain't DeAndre Swift. You didn't trade a 4th-round pick. You signed a man to a huge extension. And then you lock down A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. You're trying to win championship, man. You go ahead and draft 2 corners and knowing their linebacker position. And again, I hope this linebacker position is better than what it was last year. I think Jeremiah Trout Jr. is going to step up. I know a lot of people are down on him. I don't know why. If you think that he's bad, then you got to go watch film. He ain't bad. People just look over the fact that he's small. But people compare. Here's the thing I hear of people, and I said this too, but when I look back at it, I shouldn't have said it. But, oh, well, he's Nakobe Dean. No, he's not. He's different than Nakobe Dean. He might be better than Nakobe Dean if you want to be real, because Nakobe Dean is bad at coverage. He can cover. He can cover. Go watch that man. Jeremiah Charles Jr. had a lot of interceptions because he was able to go back in coverage and able to play like a linebacker. He can also hit. He's aggressive. He brings that energy. When I watch him, he brings that Fred Warner type energy to that Eagles team. I think that linebacker was a good pick. I said we should draft Edgerrin Cooper and Jeremiah Charles Jr. I would have won both. But I'm glad we got one, because I didn't think we were ever going to draft. Listen, when the Eagles were trading picks back and forth and I was walking from work, I made that little video. You saw my video. What are we doing? You have Jeremiah Charles Jr. on the board. Did you forget linebacker, or do you think that we're good at linebacker? Maybe he heard my video. Maybe Howard Roseman does watch me. I'm glad he did, because it was about the time you drafted Jeremiah Charles Jr. Because I would have been angry if you didn't do it. Oh, great. So we're going to be with another scrub-ass linebackers. Great. Wonderful. I wouldn't have felt better if we didn't draft Jeremiah Charles. I'll tell you one thing. We didn't draft Jeremiah Charles Jr. I might have not liked that Cooper DeJean pick as much as I do now. Not because he's not a good player. It's because then I'm saying, well, where the fuck was our linebackers at? But I'm glad we got a linebacker, man. But I'd rather have a number one linebacker, honestly. I like an early linebacker. I would love to draft a linebacker in the second round. But I guess we're making progress, I guess. We haven't drafted a corner since leadership in Sean Brandon, and that was 2002. So maybe, I'm not saying this year, but next 3 years, maybe we'll draft a linebacker in the second round. Progress, I get it. Progress, right? We're making progress. We're making progress. At least Howard Roseman's hitting on his draft picks. He's not reaching. He's not going after needs. He's going after the best player. He's not relying on analytics at all. He's doing what I asked him to do. Go for the best player. And he's being aggressive. That's what threw me off about Howard Roseman. I've never seen Howard Roseman trade picks to move up for a player. That means he's revolving. He's changing his ways. I can't fault him for that. I might not like that pick at that time. Again, I don't hate the player. I hated the pick because I wanted someone else. But fuck what I want. If that guy helps us win a Super Bowl, then you did your damn job. And he's able to be a cornerstone piece for a long time, you did your job. If we're not looking back at Cooper DeJean pick in the next few years and saying, this guy, he's okay, but he's not what we thought he would be, then we have an issue. I don't want to look back at it like a Metcalf and J.J. Arcega-Whiteside pick. Like I said in my Twitter post, I hope we don't look back at the Edgerrin Cooper in Green Bay and say we could have had Edgerrin Cooper. I don't want to look back at that like a Metcalf and J.J. Arcega-Whiteside pick. I hope to God that he's that dude, and I'm rooting for him. They're not going to see me. Listen, one thing about me is I get mad, I get over it. Have my little rant on the last game. If you missed it, you missed it. If you didn't, you saw it. And I moved on. It didn't happen what I wanted. Life goes on. We got to hope that it works out. And maybe Edgerrin Cooper doesn't work out. And Cooper DeJean looks like a freaking star. The funny thing about the draft was you'll never know. Now, I think both of them are going to be stars. I wouldn't have been mad with either one of them. I understand what the Eagles did. Do I agree with it at the time? No. I wanted a linebacker because our linebackers were atrocious. I wanted a linebacker, cornerstone linebacker. I mean, you brought the linebacker coach in from Tennessee. I would think that you met with Edgerrin Cooper for 3 times in a row. You would have liked to draft him. But, maybe they said that to throw us off. Maybe they threw us off hoping that Cooper DeJean would have fell in the first round, which he did. And they thought that was a good plan, and it actually worked. Then there's some geniuses, for real. If they're able to make that Cooper DeJean dude fall because of what they did in the offseason, the way they were manipulated our fans, including me, thinking we were interested in linebacker when we weren't. Because look, we all heard. How many times have we heard? The Eagles met with Edgerrin Cooper. Edgerrin Cooper this, Edgerrin Cooper that. They love Edgerrin Cooper. That's all we heard. And they did a good job in fooling us. They fooled me. They fooled me. And they got the guy that they wanted. I'm not mad at it. But hopefully it works out. I want it to work out. Listen, I don't want to play to fail because I don't like the pick. Down. That's weird, bro. That's weird. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure when Edgy and listen, here's the thing. It's so funny. Cooper DeJean, when he works out, which I know he will, they're gonna come back to my video, my little post. They're gonna say, "Well, this aged well." Wow, you went through my video out there how many years to figure out that I said this years ago? Congratulations, you finally commented on an old video. You know how these fans are. They still go into my Brown post. You said he wasn't going to be good. I said he wasn't starting day one, which he didn't. That's what I said. Because everybody was telling me that he was a better player than Brian Branch. Everybody was telling me that Cindy Brown, which I think he's a good player. But I told everybody he wasn't starting day one. They told me he was. I said he wasn't. He was going to take some time to develop. Cooper DeJean isn't Cindy Brown. You didn't draft this man in the 3rd round. You drafted this man with an early 2nd round pick. He has to start day one. And I want him on the opposite of C.J. Gardner-Johnson. I don't want him to play corner. Not because I don't think he can. Because his best suit, when you watch him, he was a Swiss Army knife. He was what C.J. Gardner-Johnson was before he left the Lions and came back. I want him on the opposite of C.J. Gardner-Johnson. I think he would benefit the most off there. You got Ringo, you got Mitchell, you got Slay. You don't need him at corner. You need him where he needs to be. And that is at safety. Because that's our desperate need right now. And we fill that in with we filled in 3 positions. The only thing I wish he could play, hopefully, and that would have been awesome, would have been linebacker. But unfortunately, he can't play linebacker. But he can play safety. He can play corner. They lined him in different ways. I was arguing with a fan on Twitter. I know you saw it, where he was telling me, well, Cooper DeJean, his best situation is at corner. No, his best situation is at safety. He's a little stiff at corner. If you watch him a lot of times, his best plays were at safety. And some of it was at corner, but mostly he was at safety. And the way they used him in different places. Not saying he can't play corner, he can. But my thing is, why not put him at safety? Let him go be that safety for you. And then have Cindy Brown, when he comes back, rotate with him to keep him fresh. You got potentially 3 good safeties in this draft. And I think Cindy Brown is going to come back, and I think he's going to beat out Blankenship's out of here. He's done after this year, man. They're not bringing him back. That's why they drafted Cooper DeJean. You think they're pairing him up with these guys? Everybody can say, well, Blankenship and DeJean. No. Blankenship is gone next year. They're not bringing him back. That's why they drafted Cooper DeJean. Look at the writing on the wall. He's that replacement for him. That's why they signed him to a 1-year deal. To go get your money somewhere else. Go make some plays. Build your stock. So next year you can hit free agency. Did you think they drafted? Like, people think that Blankenship and Dijon are going to be our starters. No. CJ Gardner-Johnson, Cooper Dijon will be your 2 starters by week 1. Blankenship might not even make the team, especially starter. Maybe special teams he will. He might be a special teams dude. But he ain't starting over Cooper Dijon. He's not starting over CJ Gardner-Johnson. Blankenship cannot cover. What part do you not understand? In Fangio's scheme, you got to be able to cover. He can't. He struggled with coverage. He was one of the worst safeties last year in coverage. Great. He can hit people. That's not good enough. At safety, if you want to play safety in this league, whether you're a box safety, an outside free zone safety, whatever you are, you got to cover guys. And he got absolutely demolished. You want me to bring up the 49ers game? How about the Giants game where he allowed a dude wide open? Stop it, man. Stop trying to hype this dude up, something that he's not. These Blankenship fans be saying he's good. He's okay for a rotational guy. I personally don't like him. I don't personally hate nobody. I don't like him as a player. Especially I hate when fans try to hype him up. He's the next Ed Reed. Stop. Stop being dumb. Stop trying to hype players up when they're really not that guy. We did this with J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. You remember, he's the next. What did it compare J.J. Arcega-Whiteside 1 year when he had that preseason touchdown? He's the next freaking. Oh my God, this was funny. When he caught that Baltimore Ravens touch, I swore there were so many fans that were saying he is the next Evans. What was it? He plays like Mike Evans. The man had one preseason touchdown. You compare him to Mike Evans? He's the next Mike Evans, according to everybody, because he had one preseason touchdown. Come on, man. Come on, bro. This is what we do every year. We hype players up. I don't understand it. You can like a player, but you don't have to overhype things and take it too far. And that's what a fan base does. You can't just have Reed Blankenship being a safety. No, we got to compare him to a goddamn Hall of Famer. Ed Reed, a Super Bowl champion, a Hall of Fame. This is who you comparing Blankenship to? And yes, there is fans on Twitter who says that. You gotta be out your rabbit ass mind if you think he's compared to Ed Reed, man. Stop it. Stop it. I don't get it, man. Ed Blankenship. Yeah. Ed Blankenship. Come on now. Yeah, man. Dude, like, that's why I don't get when I look at Blankenship more in that signing, I don't think he's long term. And he's not long term. Dude, they brought CJ Gardner-Johnson because they realized they messed up. People don't want to admit it or not. But Blankenship ain't here for long term. That's why they signed him a 1 year deal. He didn't get a 4-year deal. He didn't get a 5-year deal. He got a 1 year deal. Get your money, dude, and get out of here in free agency. He's going to get as much play time as if he can. I don't think Blankenship's going to get on the field that much. I don't. I think if Cindy Brown comes back, he's going to take over for Blankenship. Blankenship's going to be the odd one out. Cooper Dijon, it's your new Blankenship. Hopefully better. Because Blankenship can't cover. Hopefully Cooper Dijon can cover. He doesn't have to miss tackles. Because Blankenship is right there. He missed with bad angles. We've seen him many times with bad angles. Missing tackle over in open spaces. Now, when he's near the player and he sees what's going on, he can hit him. But that's any safety where they don't have to worry about covering and stuff like that. But my job, my thing is, can you cover? You can't. He was the worst coverage safety on that team. Yeah, well, he let in picks, but he let in picks. And that says a lot because how bad we were. Great, he let in picks. What am I supposed to do with that information? He also let in touchdown passes against him. But keep hyping your stats up. He was the worst coverage safety, leaving receivers to burn him. How many times have we seen receivers kill him? Then you heard him mic'd up. What pissed me off was him mic'd up. And he talking about, my bad, bro. Yeah, it is your bad, you dummy. You just blew a lead. Now go sit your ass on a goddamn bench. I'm sorry. I don't know where the blank hype comes from. I don't see it. But, hey, listen, I know he's not a starter. That's why I don't understand why people try to make him to be. He was a starter because we had nobody at safety. We had a rookie safety that wasn't ready to start week 1. And we got a guy who can't cover. Nice story. Undrafted dude. Everybody wants him to work out. But not everything has to be over the extreme. And some fans do it over the extreme. Chard Jr. brings out Warner Smith energy. Yeah, but that's a little over extreme. Matter of fact, I'll take that back because I do it too. I ain't going to compare him to Warner. That's bad. That's my fault. All right, I'm going to take ownership. I want him to be Jeremiah Chard Jr. I don't want him to be his father. I don't want him to be the next great Ray Lewis. No one can be that. Be who you are. Be better than your father. Just be better. I don't expect a lot from Jeremiah Chard Jr. Not because I don't think he's not going to do nothing. I think he's going to be good because he's a 5th-round pick. 5th rounders don't have high expectations for him. Some of them don't pan out. Some of them do. They're like a gamble pick. Hopefully they succeed. Hopefully you ace it. If you do, great. You got to play it for a long term. They're not going to cost you that much money. If you don't ace it, hey, it's just a pick, man. We took a risk. It is what it is. But we need Jeremiah Chard Jr. to work out, man. We need Nakobe Dean. Listen, if you got Edgerrin Cooper, I wouldn't care if you got Jeremiah. Listen, you got Jeremiah Chard Jr. Okay, cool. I'm not really worried about linebacker. But you got no linebackers, man. If Jeremiah Chard Jr. don't work out, Nakobe Dean don't work out, you're in trouble. Because I don't know who the hell you going to say. Who you going to bring back? Darius Leonard? I don't want that. I don't want to have that same issue, man. And that's why I get mad when we don't draft linebackers. And that's why I was so angry when we drafted Cooper DeJean over Edgerrin Cooper. But that's not even the Edgerrin Cooper thing I'm upset about. It's the 3rd round. You still had linebackers on that board. You reached for Jalen Hunt. That dude better be, like I said last night, that dude better be a starter. He's at least a 2nd-round pick. You didn't draft this man with a late 3rd rounder. You drafted this man with the early 3rd. He has to start. I don't give a damn if he's a, you know what? You shouldn't take guys that are projects. Not in the damn 3rd. You take one in the 4th, the 5th, the 6th, the 7th, and there's the 8th in the draft. I mean, 8th round. Well, not 8th round. There's no 8th round. But 4th, 5th, and 6th. That's when you take development players. You don't take one with early 3rd. So he better be starting. He has to be there, at least in the lineup. You know what I'm saying? He has to start. Your 3 picks that you drafted have to be players immediately. Or at least be on the field. At least 2 of them have to be on the field every game. At least producing something. Got to show me something. Cooper DeJean and Mitchell, they got to be on that field. They have to start. They got to be in that green, in that black, in that white, in that Kelly green uniforms. I can't see them on the bench. They better not be sitting on that damn bench. I better not see Trashberry still on that freaking team by June 1st. He better be gone. Because I'm going to say, what are we doing at corner, man? What are we doing? What's the plan? You those three got to start. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, those three got to start. Your early third rounder, Jalen Hunt, I don't care. Get him on that field. You drafted him high. You thought he was worth taking over guys that were better than him. Supposedly, no one knew who he was. No one had him going in the third. You reached for him because of a Senior Bowl. So you must have saw something in him. I don't know. I can't find any highlights of him. I haven't heard about him. I haven't heard at it. I never heard him in my lifetime. Never heard of that dude at all. I don't know how that pick is going to be, but he better be a starter. Not even the starter. He better be playing somewhat on that field, because that's a draft pick you don't miss on. Those three have to be impact starters. Now, Jeremiah Trott Jr. and Nice, I'm not really worried about. If they work out, they work out. They don't, they don't. Because they're late picks. Jalen Hunt, JLX Hunt, whatever his dude's name is, Cooper Dijon, and Mitchell got to start. They got to start. Those three have to be on that field at least. I need to see them on that field. People talk about development pick, this and that. Well, he better not be, because that's a reach then. He better not be. If Fangio was pounding on the table for Jalen Hunt over a guy like Cedric Gray, you had him on the board. You had Payne Wilson on that board. You had other guys on that board. You passed up on him for that guy. You know what I'm saying? You had other guys on the board. You had a running back you could have drafted. I mean, that's another. Come on. He better not be an experimental player. He better not be. He better start. That is an early second round pick if you want to be real. That's an early third round pick. So really, that's a late second rounder. Technically, that's a late second rounder. The second round picks, third or first rounders, I always say have to start. They have to be your vocal pieces. And hopefully Jalen Hunt gets to that playbook, whatever his name is, Jackson Hunt, Jalen Hunt, whatever his name is. Sorry if I butchered his name. That you picked is right now practicing and learning that playbook that Fangio gave to him. Because he has to be that player. You don't take a guy like that in the third round. Especially, and this is not a late third round, ladies and gentlemen. This is a early third. You drafted this man in the early third. Was it early third? Hold up. Let me see. Hold up. Let me do my research. Because I got my computer. Let me pull it up. Let me see. Let's see where we drafted him. Because if he's an early third, he better be starting, man. I don't give a fuck about, well, he's experimental. Stop, man. Let's see. So, yeah, this is the guy we drafted. We drafted with the 94th overall pick outside of Houston. The 94th overall pick in the second day of the 2024. So we drafted this man in the second round. Second round. Hey, he better be starting, bro. He's a second round pick? Oh, yeah, he better be starting now. He better be starting by the end of the year. A second round pick? Oh, yeah, he better. Ain't no, well, we got to sit back and wait for him. Nah, fuck all that. 94 overall pick, second round. That's who you choose. He better be that guy. That's a player that needs to start. Your second round picks your first rounders, they're day one starters. They're day one starters. Whether they're late second, early second, late first, it don't matter. He better be starting. If we draft him with the 94 overall, which I remember now, I didn't like that pick and I still don't. Because I know what's going to happen. He's not going to start. He's going to be, oh, well, he needs some time. Fuck all that. I don't care I don't care what they say on that draft board. I don't care who wanted them, whether it's Vic Fangio, Howard Roseman, Jeff Lurie. Someone must have said that this guy was going to get taken before we don't draft him. And I hope we didn't pull another bad second-round pick. Hopefully he's a starter. I don't know too much about him. I'm not going to judge him. I'll just say this. He better be that guy. Your 2 second-round picks got to start. They got to start. They got to be starters. They at least got to be in an important role for why you win in the championship or in the conversation for championship. I better see his name on the back of the jersey, especially his last name on the back of the jersey, Hunt. I better see Hunt in that lineup. I better not see him on the practice squad. I better not see him not make it on. No, he better start, man. He's a second-round pick. We're not going to coddle him. We're not going to sit there and say, give him let's be cautious with him. No. That's what you do in third, fourth, fifth. I didn't even know he was a late second. So he's a late second, which means he has to start. Those are your guys that got to start. You see something out of them that you would rather go up and get or wait in the second round to grab. And I think he was way too early to grab, honestly. But that's not my call. That's their call. But he better be starting. If they would have thought he was worth it more over a guy like Peyton Wilson, over a guy that would have been a day one starter, he better be that day one starter. With Cooper DeJean, with Mitchell, those three better be on that field. No just sitting there. He's not a fifth rounder. He's not a fourth rounder. No, you drafted this dude with the late second round pick. The 94th overall pick in the second round. So that's a late second round. He better start. Early third, late second. That's still a late second round pick, man. He got to start, man. Hit that like button. If you new, hit that like button, man. Appreciate you for coming on, bro. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, I had to charge my laptop. That's why we're on the bed. You know what I'm saying? I had to charge my laptop. I don't know what's wrong with my laptop. I just charged it the other day. If it dies, it dies. I'm tired of sitting on this bed, man. It's crazy. There you go. So you can see my beautiful, beautiful screen. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he definitely got to start, man. He definitely got to start. Your 3 picks that you drafted, Alex Hunt, whatever his name is, late second round pick, early third, has to start. I don't care about his, he got to slowly come through. No, man. That's a 4th, 5th, 6th. I don't care. Those guys, let them take all they want. This man is a second round pick. I don't care what round you got him in. I don't care what number you got him at. If he's a second, first, early third, those guys got to start. Those guys are going to be your future pieces. And hopefully those 3 start. I better see them on the field. I know there are going to be people in the comments about, well, he's a project. Well, you don't draft a project in the 3rd round, early 3rd, and late 2nd. You drafted a project in the 4th and 5th and 6th. Those are projects. Okay? You don't draft a defensive end / linebacker, Jalen Hunt, with the 94 overall pick when you had Peyton Wilson and all these guys on the board. No, you obviously think he's a starter, that he's ready to go. Not an experimental piece, not a guy that you're going to sit back for a while and learn and hopefully makes no. Because then you reached. And you wasted a pick on a guy that you could have gotten in the 4th round. But the fact that they sat there and took him, turned that card in real fast, they even wait. It took them 2 seconds to turn that card in. I watched it. They literally 2 seconds for them to turn that card in. They didn't wait. It's not like they didn't bother jumping up for him. They waited for him to fall down and they grabbed him. He better be a starter. Jalen Hunt better be a starter, man. I better see him on that field. He better have that playbook memorized. I need you to be on that field. He better be in Fangio's scheme, though. Him and Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, starters. Got to be impactful players. Got to be your pieces down the road. Now, Jeremiah Charles Jr., we'll see what he is. I'm not going to say he better work out. No, he's a 5th and 6th round pick, man. Okay, those guys, I don't expect a lot from them. All right. Hopefully he works out, but if he doesn't, he'll just be another Nakobe Dean situation, man. If he works out, he works out. He doesn't, he doesn't. It is what it is. But Cooper DeJean, Jalex Hunt are 2nd round picks. You drafted a man in the 1st round, the cornerback from Toledo. Those 3 got to start. I better see them all on that field. They better be starters. And I'm dead ass serious. Because I would have never drafted that dude. I'm sorry. I don't know who he was. He wasn't, he really, if you want to be real, he wasn't the best player on that board. Now, some people might think that. That's their opinion. They do a lot of scouting on him. There's some fans who do all 22. I don't do that crap. I don't got time for it. Number 2, it's no point of it. When you watch his tape, I don't know. Hopefully it's not a reach. Because I would have went in a different direction. I would have gotten a Peyton Wilson. I would have gotten a Cedric Gray. Hell, I might have taken a tight end. So you banked on this guy. He better be a starter day 1. He's a 2nd round pick, early 3rd. He got to start. I don't care what anybody says. Well, he needs some time to grow. No, man. No, he don't. He's a 2nd round pick. He's not a 3rd. He's not a 4th. He's an early 3rd. So he's an early 3rd, but he's not a late 3rd. He's not an early 4th. He's not a late 4th. He's not an early 5th. He's not a late 5th. He's a late 2nd round pick. You drafted him with the 94th overall pick. Your 2nd round pick that you moved down for. You moved down for this guy. You traded up for Cooper DeJean. And you moved down not one time. Because remember, we had another pick afterwards. We traded that pick to move down to get him. So they must have think something that we don't see that they like. Hopefully it works out, man. He says Trotter brings out Warner and Smith energy. Smith? Who's Smith? Fred Warner? We'll see, man. We'll see. Listen, man, at the end of the day, this linebacker situation, hopefully it's a lot better than last year. And I'm hoping, listen, I would love for Jeremiah Charles Jr. to be our number 1 linebacker. I would love to have I would love to see Nakobe Dean show something and be our linebacker. Because I'm tired of freaking seeing our linebackers be absolutely garbage. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. Like, the meme, I'm tired of the grandpa, too fucking bad. Yeah, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of the linebackers being trash. Like my guy Bobby Murphy said many times in the stream. He said it on my channel when we were talking on the channel. We go to the trash compactor. We go to the sanitation department. We go to literally the trash truck and pick out a garbage linebacker that no one knows about. And we hire guys off the undrafted free agent list. So the undrafted free agent. Undrafted, the guys that haven't been drafted. And pick them off the waiver list. Because we're too cheap to go out and get a legit linebacker.
We don't believe in him for some reason. I don't know why. And I hope that this doesn't affect us down the road. I don't think we gave Nakobe Dean real competition. I'm hoping Jeremiah Trotter gives Nakobe Dean run for his money. But it just tells me that they weren't willing to take Edgerrin Cooper because they were afraid of Nakobe Dean's feelings. They were afraid of taking who they had a chance. Both Payne Wilson and Cedric Gray. Even Colson was there. They moved down to take Jalen Hunt, which tells me they don't want to hurt Nakobe Dean's feelings. If he's that freaking soft and he can't handle competition, then why do we have him on his team? Because that's all I hear from Nick Sirianni is we preach competition. So wait. Don't tell me that you switched up now. And now it's, let's baby some players, but not baby all. I hope we're not treating him like Carson Wentz, where we're babying this guy because we don't want to put real competition linebackers in front of him because we might hurt his pride. Good. Because if he's not the dude, he's not the dude. But I hope that's not the case. I hope that they wanted Edgerrin Cooper, that they saw Cooper DeJean, and he said, let's go get the best player. Yeah, we wanted Edgerrin Cooper. He was on our top list. Let's go out and get him. But that third-round pick, he better start. If he don't start, it's a fail. It's a fail. You don't take a development player in the third round. I'm sorry. Not even the third round. You took him in the late second round. So he really is a second-round pick. Whether you want to say he's late, early, doesn't matter. He's a second-round pick. He got to play. He got to play. Jalen Hunt got to play. You took this dude. You didn't want to go get a linebacker because you want to hurt Nakobe Dean. You didn't want to hurt Nakobe Dean's feelings. And that's what I think it is. We don't want to hurt Nakobe Dean's feelings. So let's take someone that he might not be less, he'll be less bothered about. And that is a fifth-round pick, Jeremiah Trotter Jr. And I hope Jeremiah Trotter Jr. goes out there and he takes his job. Or he doesn't take his job, but at least makes Nakobe Dean have to worry about looking over his shoulder and hope that someone don't take his job. Because, again, way too comfortable. And I'm tired of players getting babied. How many times are we going to baby players? We go coddle them. We go have them in our arms, rocking them back and forth like a goddamn infant. You want your bottle of Nakobe Dean? It's okay. We won't give you a real competition because we're too scared to draft linebackers. We don't want to hurt our linebackers' feelings. Stop it. Give me some dogs in the building, man. Someone that's going to bite. Hopefully, Jeremiah Trotter Jr. puts that fear in Nakobe Dean's eyes. Like, I can lose my job. Because when you allow players to get comfortable, then they don't think they're ever going to get beat out. I'm hoping Jeremiah Trotter Jr. goes in there and fights for that number 2. Makes Nakobe Dean have to work hard. Because you didn't get Jalen Hurts the job immediately. No, he had to work for it. That's just the truth. He had to work for it. Hopefully they're not coddling Nakobe Dean. No, Uncle Howie, I don't want you to draft a linebacker. My feelings are hurt. That would make me really mad if that came out, that was the report. That we didn't want to draft Edgerrin Cooper. And we decided to go Cooper DeJean. Not because he was a good player, because we didn't want to affect Nakobe Dean's growth. And now I know you got some fans and then, well, you got to relax. Nakobe, man, listen, man. Don't tell me to relax. When this guy is supposed to be one of the best linebackers in that draft that fell to us, we wanted this guy. This guy was talking about how he's going to, I'm going to prove myself. Man, stop it. Just show on the damn field. I want guys that are going to win and they're going to be here and they're going to be healthy. I don't want guys that be banged up, can't stay healthy, but we want to coddle them because, we don't want to draft real linebackers. For what reason? I don't know why. I would think the Eagles would love to draft linebackers. Right? I mean, think about it. How many times have you seen linebackers in the first round, second round picks be dogs, starters? Why wouldn't you not want that? And then you got linebackers like Peyton Wilson, who fell literally at the end of the draft. I think he went. You traded all your picks for, you traded picks back to get Jalen Hunt. Oh, yeah, more pressure going to be on him for sure. Him and Cooper DeJean. I'm looking at both of them. I know Mitchell's going to ball out, but he better show up too. But I'm worried about Jalen Hunt. He better be a starter. If he's not a starter, he's not on that field. What are you doing? What are you doing? Because that's a pick you can't miss. I don't care who called for it. Vic Fangio, whatever his name is, if he raised his hand and say, I want that dude, go get me that guy, he better be playing him. That's your guy, right? You wanted him. You banged for the table for him. Use him. Better not see him on that bench. He better be on that field. He better look like that number one pick. I'm sorry, not number one pick. The late second round pick that you drafted him to be. Because he's a pick that needs to play. Those three picks, like I said, if they're not late third rounders, fourth rounders, fifth, sixth, seventh, they got to start. Those are your three players that have to produce immediately. Late third rounder, okay, I get it. But he's an early third, late second rounder. So technically, he's a second round pick. He was drafted in the second round. The late second round, those guys are starters. Jalen Hunt is a starter. He better be a starter. Late second round pick, got to start. Early second round pick, got to start. I don't give a damn where he was ranked at. I don't care what school he went to. I don't care if he's he better not be a developmental piece because that means you reached. If he's not going to help you now, you don't draft him in the late second. You don't draft them in the early first. You don't draft those guys into the fourth and fifth and sixth. So Jalen Hunt, don't know too much about him, but he better be started. He better be on that field with Cooper DeJean and freaking Mitchell. Those three have to play. I need to see some production out of those three. They better have football highlights by the end of the year. If they don't, well, what are we doing? What are we doing? Now, I ain't worried about the running back because I don't know what he is. He's our up and down piece. You didn't get that dude in the early second. You didn't get that dude in the late second. You got him in the fourth round, third round, late third round, fourth round, fifth. Those guys are developmental piece. That's when you take a guy like Jalen Hunt. But, they took him early. He better be that guy. Or that's a fireable offense. And Vic Fangio might be the one getting the boot. Because if that's his guy and he doesn't produce on the field, well, what are we doing? That's a piece that you could have gotten somewhere else. Another player that would have came in start day one. And you reach for developmental players. You don't got time to develop nothing. You got literally 4 to 5 years to win a championship. And it starts now. You don't got too many years to win a championship. You got to start winning now. Nobody's waiting for players to develop. Sorry. This ain't the old days. I don't care about, he got to learn nothing to stop it. He's a late second round pick. He better be on that field with Cooper DeJean, who's an early second rounder. Late, early first, those guys got to start. If they're in the first round, early second round, late second round, they are starters. Or they better be on that field being a rotational guy. I need to hear them say Jalen Hunt, the early third round, late second round, early third round, just made this play. I better hear his name, because I ain't gonna lie to you, I don't know who that is, and I don't know. I don't know. I'm hoping that's not a reach. You know what I'm saying? Trotter Jr., I don't expect too much out of because he's a late pick. The running back that we got, don't expect too much out of him because he's a late pick. And Nye Smith, I don't expect too much out of him. Now, I know he's going to bring it, but I don't expect too much out of him because he's a late pick. So if he don't work out, he don't work out. But those 3 picks that you drafted, they better work out. Those are your cornerstone pieces. You don't fumble the bag with those pieces, especially those type of picks. Those are winners. Those are Pro Bowlers. You know how many late second round picks are Hall of Famers right now? Those are day 1 starters. Jalen Hunt with Cooper DeJean Mitchell, they have to be in games. I don't need to see him on the bench. Where's my starters? That dude right there that you drafted, if Fangio called for him, he better be on that field. I better be hearing that dude's number being called on the television. What a hit by that guy. Jalen Hunt, whatever his number is. Alex Hunt, whatever the dude's name is. From Christian University. Never heard of that school. Please do not J.J. Arcega-Whiteside me, please. I can't take it anymore. Tell me we didn't reach on that pick. Hopefully we didn't. Now, Cooper DeJean, I don't think we reached on him. I think he's going to be a good player. But Jalen Hunt, I don't know. That looked like a reach to me. That looked like a guy that you shouldn't be taking unless you know damn well he's going to be that guy. Now, what does Vic Fangio going to use him for? I don't know. Hopefully on defense. Hopefully he's that freaking Jerome Baker 2.0, because that's exactly what he better be. He better be that. If he's an outside / linebacker, he better be one of our linebackers then. Because you passed up on a lot of talent, man. And I'm tired of us losing to better talent on the board because our 2 picks. Listen, Howie Roseman drafts round 2. Those guys, he's always going to ace those picks. The 3rd round, the 4th round, the 5th, the 6th, those are the ones that he loses, that he doesn't get any good ones out of. The late 3rd, early 3rd rounds, late 2nd rounders, what did we take J.J. Arcega-Whiteside? Was a late 2nd rounder. Right? We took Miles Sanders, I believe, early 2nd, J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, late 2nd. Jalen Hunt better be playing this year. No sending him back, not let him learn, nothing like that. No, that's good when you have a 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th round pick. He was an early 3rd, late 2nd. He better be starting with Cooper DeJean and Mitchell. Those guys are your core pieces. You drafted them high. They better be that player. I don't care what school he went to. I don't give a shit. You drafted that dude. You thought he was a better player than Peyton Wilson. You thought he was a better player. You didn't want to go get a linebacker. You were okay with getting Jeremiah Trotter Jr. in the 5th and 6th round, which I'm okay with. Don't know too much about it. I don't think I'm not really. Listen, if he works out, he works out. He doesn't, he doesn't. He's a 5th rounder. I don't expect too much out of him. But hopefully he pans out. I think he will. But Jalen Hunt would have been a 5th rounder if he's a development player. You don't reach on that type of players, man. And we have a habit of doing that. We've done it before. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, late 2nd round pick. Stinks. Where's he at? You want me to keep going? Sidney Brown, early 2nd round pick. I mean, come on. We got an ace on these 2nd rounders, man. These were 2nd rounder pick. These 2nd rounders we have horrible at. Let's look at this draft. Early 1st, late 1st. How are Roseman aces them? Now, Jalen Reagor, I get it. I get that. I get that. But that was in Howard Roseman. That was Jeffrey Lloyd. I don't think this was Howard Roseman's pick. I think this was Fangio's pick. Cooper DeJean, Howard Roseman. When you look at it, Howard Roseman and Nick Sirianni liked the player. They moved up. They knew they needed cornerback. They looked at the future. They went up and got him. Big school, not a small school. Iowa is not a small school. It's a top 10 school. They play real competition. Jalen Hunt, I don't know who's he played against. Does anybody have any film on this guy? Oh, I know he better be on that damn field playing. I do not want to see my late second round pick, early third, because those are starters, man. He's a starter. I don't know why people telling me this guy's a experiment project. Well, he should have been drafted that high, and he should have been drafted in the late second. Because there's better players on that board that you passed up on to take that guy. Not only did you pass up on players, you traded back to get him. So really, he should be playing this year. Not next year, not the day before next year. No, this year. Your 3 picks better be starting. I don't give a damn what school he went to. Enough for y'all to draft him in a late second round pick. You talk high about him. You say he's smart and intelligent. Well, he better be that. He's a late second round pick. He better be starting. I'm not the one of the Eagle fans go say, well, we just got to find out. No, man. We don't got to find out nothing. He better be on that damn field producing. I'm sick of this baby and shit where we're going to sit back and coddle these players, man. If they're a late second round pick / early third, you're starting. You better be a starter. If you're a early second round pick, a late first round pick, you're starting. You better be a starter. You better be good. You don't reach on those players unless you think they're starters. Because then you're reaching. Just the truth, man. Just the truth. Philadelphia Eagles to win the Super Bowl. I hope so. Listen, I just want to clear that up because I see so many people telling me that Jalen Hunt is a project. Well, we should have never drafted him then. If he's a project, you just wasted a second-round pick on a project. That's the dumbest thing you can do when you need to win now. You need those picks again. So hopefully he's not a project. Hopefully he's these analytics people who are on a podcast are just talking out their ass. And hopefully the Eagles know something we don't. I don't know too much about him. Never heard of him. Never knew he was on the board. Never thought we would imagine years to go after a guy like that. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully he's playing. That's all I care about. All this sitting back coddling guys, stop all that, man. That's what you do when in the 4th, 5th, 6th. Those guys, you don't expect too much out of. But early thirds, late second-round picks, late first, they got to be starters, man. And they better be started. Those are your core pieces. Those are your guys that got to start. Those are starters. Those are guys that you took, that you're willing to take in the rounds that are meant for guys that are ready to be players. Not wait for them. No. We don't have time to wait for another Davion Taylor. So if he's not starting, you missed up opportunity to get another player in the building. Because projects don't get drafted in the late second. They don't get drafted in the early third. You took this man 94th overall in the late second. He better be started. He's an early third starter. If they're not 4th and 5th, 6th, they're not starters. I get that. Project guys, take those guys. That's fine. But you pass up on a lot of talent. And you moved down to get that guy. You moved up, and then you traded that last second-round pick down to grab more picks and drafted this guy. You better know what you're doing. I don't care who called it, whether it's Fangio, Rick Fangio, Don Fangio, Bill Fangio. I don't care who called it. You better be on that damn field. I don't care whether it's growing pains, nothing. Growing pains on that field and show me that you're that guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of some of these Eagle fans calling these guys, man. Well, you know, he's a third rounder. No, he's a late second rounder. Stop saying he's a third round. He's a late second round pick. I hate when people say that. Well, he's an early third round. What do you expect? We don't know nothing about him. Well, we better. Shit. He's a late second round pick. He better be starting on that damn field. You don't bench a dude who's a late second rounder. Miles Sanders was an early second rounder. Or a late second. I think he was a late second round. We took JJ in early second. And then we took Miles Sanders in a late second. JJ in early second. And then we took Miles Sanders was a late second rounder. He was a starter. I don't know where we got the notion that project players, because they're drafted in the second round, we should take it easy on them. No. You should have never drafted them. Hopefully this guy is everything we hope he can be. I never heard of him from this college. Does anybody know what school he go to again? Hold up. Is it Christian something? Christian University? So he went to Christian Huskies. So he went to Houston. Corner-bred red and the Houston Christian Huskies was selected by the Eagles in the third round of the 2024. He's a third-round pick. He better be starting, man. Talk about he's not. He's a development to play. Man, you don't take a guy in the third round and development to play. He's a starter, man. Stop it. And he was a late second round. I don't know why people call him a late or early third. Oh, so he's an early third. Well, he better be starting it. Right? Let's see. So they took him with the 94th overall pick. Did they draft him in the late third? Was he an early third? Let's see. Was he a late third or early or late? It doesn't matter if he's a late third or early third. Man, he better be a fucking starter, man. Those are guys that are starters, man. You're late third, early third. So yeah, he's from Houston Christian Huskies. Never heard of that school. But hopefully they prepare him for the NFL draft. Okay, so he I don't care if he was an early third, late third, he better be starting. Because that's a core piece that you don't pass up on. Yeah, listen, third round picks are valuable. Third rounders are valuable. Look at the players that are third rounders. Late second rounders, early third rounder. He's an early third round pick. Or a little, well, he's almost to the late thirds. Doesn't matter. Fourth to fifth, that's when you take project players. You don't take a guy in the third round for the project. That's ridiculous, man. I'm sorry. You just don't. You don't. You just don't. You don't. You just don't, man. I don't care what anybody says. And if you did, well, you better hope he starts, man. So Rodgers is wearing 34. Ricks is wearing 23. Barkley's obviously wearing 27. Uzma, 87. Huff is wearing 0. So Devin White is wearing 45. Pickett is wearing 7. I don't like that Pickett number, man. Wearing Hassan Reddick's number, I don't know, man. Bond is wearing 53. Parker is wearing 13. Interesting. Hopefully he's a better 13 than what we had before. I mean, it'll be interesting what the Eagles do, man. It'll be interesting what the Eagles do. But hopefully those 3 picks pan out, man. I know a lot of people going to say, well, he's a project. And listen, you don't take a project with the late third. You don't take it with the early third. You draft those guys in the 4th, 5th, and 6th round. You draft them later down the road. If you feel like that guy was going to slip away, and then we draft him an early third. Hold up, man. I could have swore we did. Let's see. Yeah, round 3, pick 94. Yeah, so that was an early third, late third, so middle of the third. I gotta watch some film on him. Everybody's saying he's good. Hopefully, I never heard of him. Have anybody heard this guy before? I gotta watch some film. Is there any film on him? All right, hold up. All right, let's watch some film on him, man. I want to see what he's about, man. Because I never heard of that school. And you obviously got some goofballs who would say, well, you went to my favorite school. Yeah, sure you did. You know how people on the Instagram are. They lie like a rug. Over there just be saying shit. Doesn't matter if it's true, but, you know, they experts. They agree with anything that this GM does, even if it's bad. Which Howard's done a great job, but I got to see this guy. I never heard of them, man. Okay, so he played for the Huskies. All right. Interesting. Let's see. So they line him everywhere. Let's see. Is that him? Like, okay, so he's lined up right there. So anyone when they circle him, that's where he's at. I don't see anything but except him getting blocked. Let's see. Can he make a play? Oh, he fell right here. Well, what am I seeing? I see a dude that should have been in the 4th round. Am I going crazy? Does he look like a 4th round pick? I think we've reached on him, man. I think it's going to be okay, but I don't think he's going to be what we think he's going to be. He looks like a 4th rounder. Come on, man. Like, this is come on, man. Missed tackle right there. I don't see anything special, man. Hope he's better than what he was in college because I didn't see anything. I mean, I see him making plays somewhat, but I thought it would be a little bit more. I think we reached on him for sure. Like, I mean, are we supposed to see the missed tackles? Like, what is going on? So he's right there. He looked like he's going to be pressuring. Let's see if he can get up to the quarterback. Let's see if he can be able to bull rush to the quarterback. I want to see what his power is. So he's right there. And obviously does nothing. Looks like he struggles with misdirection. He looks like a 4th rounder, man. He doesn't look like I don't get why we drafted him. Over Payne Wilson? I mean, we seen missed tackles everywhere. God damn. I feel like I'm watching the Eagles in 2022. Holy shit. Not 2022, 23, excuse me. 2022, we actually could tackle somewhat. We made it to Super Bowl that year. 23. That's what I'm talking about. What am I seeing? Someone help me out. What am I seeing? I see an average fourth rounder, experimental, not a ready guy, and you drafted this man in the third? I mean, we're going to have to find out what he is in preseason. Hopefully he does something in preseason and show something. Because I don't see it. You drafted this man with a late third round pick. I don't get it. I'm not seeing what everybody's seeing. I see an average below dude who was taken high. I think you reached on that pick, bro. I'm seeing a lot of missed tackles. Probably not from him, but it doesn't help when your teammates can't tackle. And I see him just get beat. I don't see a star player. I just don't. I don't even see a guy that we moved up in the third for him. I mean, dude, you could have got him in the fifth round. What am I watching? I see an average below defensive end / linebacker, man. Can someone help me out? What am I watching? So he's in coverage. I want to see if he can rush the quarterback. Like, chat, help me out. What am I watching? Does anybody know why I should be optimistic with this pick? This is a definition reach right here, man. Because you're telling me someone's taking him in the third? I seriously doubt it. He would have been a fourth or fifth round pick, man. Where is the potential? I don't see it. I see a raw, not ready type player right here. You don't draft that guy with that pick. So hopefully he turns out to be better in the NFL because I'm not impressed in his college. I see an average dude. He makes a play, but he doesn't do anything with the ball. Like, go get the ball. What am I watching? And again, I mean, the coverage is bad. Whoever is playing secondary is trash, man. So maybe he just had a bad secondary. He was good. I don't know. I mean, dude, I don't see the flash. Like you would see the potential. I don't see that out of him. He looks like he's raw, man. He looks like he's not ready to play. And you drafted this man in the late third. That's not a place where you draft experimental players. You draft them in the fourth and fifth and sixth. You don't draft a guy that's not ready to play, especially with the late third, early thirds, late seconds. No, those guys are starters, man. Or they should be on that field at least, contributing in some way, somehow, either on special teams or something like that. This guy might not even look like he's going to be on a roster. He looks like he's just a camp body, if you want to be real. He looked like he should be undrafted. I mean, what am I watching? I don't understand it, bro. Help me out. Someone in the chat. Tell me what this guy, what is this guy supposed to be? What is he supposed to be? Like, we took this guy. Can someone help me out? Because that's what I'm watching. I'm watching a guy that can't really read a offense, doesn't get to the right holes, doesn't look like he has good motor, struggles with pass coverage, missing tackles left and right. We took this guy high. I think you reached on that pick, man. Hopefully he turns out to be better. So I'm seeing another version. I mean, dude, like, look like the running back is carrying him. Where's the energy at? Can someone help me out? Where is the potential at? This looks like a dude that's not even ready to play. Please tell me we didn't draft a late third round pick on a guy that's experimental. Please tell me we didn't do that. You don't draft a dude like that unless he's in the 4th, the 5th, and 6th. I mean, I'm seeing all these comments. Let's read them. Dude is good. For those worried about Trotter Jr., he's going to fall into the 4th, where he have 3 of them. Let Howie cook. Watch film. Dude used to be a safety. I'm watching film. The guy's ass. So dope seeing dude I played with college. What college was that? So just screw the linebacker position, huh? Should have took and paid was. I agree. I'm giving him the like. Not gonna lie, bro. I got drafted straight out of high school when I saw Houston Christian. Yeah, I mean, what the fuck is Houston Christian? I don't see anything special. I see an average below defensive player, man. I don't see IQ, nothing popping out that chart, bro. I think you reached on him, and the dummies in the comments are saying he's good. April Fools, he isn't. I'm watching film. I mean, where am I watching? Where am I watching? Where's the potential at? Can someone help me out? Whoever likes this pick, where is the potential that I'm seeing this guy at? You drafted this man with 94th overall in the 3rd round. Can someone explain to me? I don't get it. I don't get it at all, man. I don't get it at all. I don't understand. That's a stupid pick. It's a dumb pick. I'm sorry. He's not going to work out. I know he isn't. Fangio better know what the hell he's doing with him. Because I see a guy that's stiff. I see a guy that doesn't know how to read cues right. The guy looks like he's slow and reacting to certain plays. I see guys running over him. He needs to hit the weight room and build up his strength because I don't think he's ready. You drafted this man. Oh, come on, man. Come on, bro. And I don't care who likes him. You don't draft that dude in the 3rd round. Hopefully this guy's better than what he is. What I see on tape. Because that guy looks like a bum. A flat out scrub. Looks like a 6th round undrafted. Looks like a 6th round pick, man. A 5th round pick. I don't see a late 3rd rounder or even a middle 3rd. Didn't we draft this man in the early 3rd? Did we draft this man in the early 3rd? If we did, shame on this Eagles team. Because that's a reach. Houston Christian. Never heard of that freaking school. I don't see the potential. I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't know what I'm seeing, bro. I don't know what I'm seeing, man. I'm seeing a dude who doesn't know how to. I'm sorry. I just watched this film. Where am I seeing the potential at? I mean, dude, maybe I'm looking wrong, but I don't see a starter. I don't see a starter in Jalen Hunt. I don't. I'm watching this guy's tape, and this guy is not where he's supposed to be. He looks stiff. He looks like he's getting pushed around. You drafted this man in the third round, but you got some you got some people in the comments. Oh, how are you going to hate on the pick? Because I can. Because we reach on players like Damian Taylor, J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. You remember you probably the dum-dums who thought they were a good pick, right? So I don't listen to y'all. I listen to what I see on the screen. Not analytics, not what his stats look like. Watch the style, how he plays. And I just watched him. I don't see anything impressive out of him. There's so many better players that you could have had over Jalen Hunt. Hopefully, this guy's better than when he was in college. Because I ain't going to lie to you. It was one of the worst college highlights I've ever seen in my lifetime. Maybe even worse. He doesn't look like he's even there at all. He can't tackle. He's bad with coverage. Hopefully, hell, he don't play linebacker. Keep him as a defensive end because he's not good. You reached. I'm sorry, you reached. That's the C right there. I didn't get to rewatch his highlights, but man, when I'm watching his highlights, I don't see a third rounder. I see a conditional 5th, 6th round pick that's experimental. He would have definitely been there. There's nobody going to take a chance on him. That was on them. You need playmakers, not experimental trap picks. You don't got time for that. So hopefully he's better. I don't give a shit about stats. See, everybody talks about his stats. Stats what? Stats my ass. Stats are for losers, geeks, nerds. I don't look at stats. I look how you play on the field. And if you contributed, and they show this dude, we'll do it again one more time for everybody in the back. But what am I seeing when I see this guy? Maybe I'm seeing the wrong film. But I typed his name in and the highlights came up. This guy don't look like he's a starter at all. He looks like he's a third round. I'm sorry, not a third round, a 5th round draft pick that you reached on because of the potential. Not because he's a player that could start right away. And that's our mindset, hopefully. Hold up. Let me put it up again. I don't see what am I watching? I'm sorry. What am I watching? What does he do? What does this guy do? So we're looking at. So now we're going off this. Come on, man. Come on. We going off a fucking Senior Bowl, really? I hope that's not the case. I hope we actually watched highlights and actually film. Not even highlights, film. I don't see the star. I just don't. Does he have any highlights in 2023? Let's look it up. All right, let's look at another one, man. Maybe I'm seeing something wrong, but I don't see a star. I just don't. I don't see a guy that we should have taken in the third round. Sorry. You tell me about potential. Where's the potential at? Maybe this will help me. I don't know. The first one was terrible. I mean, what am I looking at? What am I looking at? Can someone help me out? What am I looking at? What am I supposed to be looking at? I mean, this dude just literally got held on. Like, dude, like, really? What am I supposed to see that I'm supposed to be excited for? I guess they didn't look at the film right, did they? Because I don't see a guy that can get up. I don't see a guy that's. Let me see if he can rush the quarterback. Nope. I don't see him rushing the quarterback. Where's the fear in the quarterback's eyes when he sees him? I don't see that. Here we go. Here's Raheem on the other side. Let's see if he does something. Where's the potential at? I don't see it. You tell me he's better than the player than Peyton Wilson? I disagree. Totally disagree. You would rather have Peyton Wilson over him. I'm hoping we didn't reach on that pick, man. He looks like a reach to me. He looks like a Davion Taylor type player. Don't even know what college he went to. He looks like a raw, experimental, practice squad type player. That's not going to be a starter. And, the dummies on the comments going to talk about, well, you don't know football. I know more football than y'all because y'all talk about his stats. I don't give a shit about his stats. Stats are overhyped sometimes. Okay? Where is the potential at? He's out of place. I mean, look at this. You got to be serious, man. Did we really draft a player like this when there was better players on the board? Again, I didn't get to really watch his highlights observe, but I don't like this pick at all. I think it sucks. What are we doing with this pick, man? Like, dude, like, seriously, where's the potential at? This is Jalen Hunt's highlights? Shit. Looks like he's a 5th rounder that we took real high. There was better players on that board, man. I don't care what anybody says. Hopefully we did not reach. If we're looking at this type shit right here, man, if this is what we're looking at, someone got to go, man. Some scout got to go, bro. Whoever thought that dude was above these players got to get fired, man. Because that's embarrassing, dude. Where's the potential at? Where's the potential? So we're looking at this. Let's take a look. So this is what we're looking. This is why we drafted him high. Come on, man. Are you serious, dude? I get Aaron Donald. No one knew who he was until he had that. But come on, man. Stop. This is what we're doing. Look at that missed tackle right here. Hopefully that wasn't Jalen Hunt because that would have been a touchdown. I mean, I see what they're seeing, but I would have never drafted him in the 3rd. He looked like he would have been a 4th rounder. This is a reach, man. You don't reach on a type player like that, bro. Now, I get it. 4th, fine. 5th, fine. 6th, fine. Late 3rd, early 3rd, no. No. I don't care what anybody says. Yeah, that's a reach, man. That's a fucking reach. There's gonna be people who disagree with me in the comments. I don't give a shit. That's a reach, man.
Come on, bro. Really? That's a fucking reach, dude. Someone reached on a player, man. That's a reach, bro. Sorry. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to sit there and sugarcoat you. I don't know what you see out of him. I don't. Can someone tell me what do you see out of him? I don't see anything out of him. I see an average below defensive end that we drafted. And we drafted him in the late third. That's a fourth-round pick, man. You don't draft a guy like that unless you know what he's about. Again, I hope he better. Hopefully he's better than what he was in the NFL. Maybe he was horrible in college, but he might be better in the NFL. Everybody talks about his stats. I don't care about his stats. Watching his film, that man is not a late third-round pick. He's not even an early third. He's not a late second. He's nothing. He's a fifth rounder. He should have been projected to go in the fifth. Whoever had him high, I don't see what you're seeing, man. I don't see what you be seeing. I see an average dude, bro. I see an average dude, man. I mean, I'm sorry. I just don't see it. Like Jalen Hunt to me is a reach. For a third round, no, I don't like it. Maybe I gotta see the highlights one more time. But if we're looking at this, I mean, I'm just watching his stuff, man, and I don't see a star. I mean, dude, this better be a good pick, man, because that is a reach that you just don't pat. You don't reach on a guy like that, man. I don't give a shit what the analytics says, bro. To reach on a guy like that is crazy. It's fucking crazy, man. It's crazy. I don't see what everybody's seeing. And that's just me. Maybe I gotta look at a different angle. I don't know. But I don't see the ability. I mean, dude, I don't see any potential. He looked like he should have been undrafted, if you want to be real. That's just being real with you. I don't see what everybody's seeing. And we took this dude in the third round. Make this make sense for me. I don't see it. I just don't. Hold up, let me see. Maybe this would help me. I don't know. I don't see it. I don't see the potential out of this guy. I just don't. I hope that God he works out, man. I mean, so they show me stats again. Show me the plays, man. Fuck the stats. Show me the plays, man. I want to see the plays. I don't give a shit about the stats. Don't show me the fucking stats. Show me where this guy was worth taking a late third round pick on and a gamble on. They still show me stats. Now he's showing Good Morning Football. Like, where's the footage of him being good? They're showing the combine. I want to see film of him dominate at least one player. It's still showing the combine. Listen, Jalen Reagor had a great combine. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside had a great combine. They don't make you players, man. Should have shown one sack. Or is he had one interception of a highlight? This reminds me of the pick that we made. What was that pick that we made that everybody was hyping up? I mean, he could be a Mil Williams situation. Yeah, maybe he is good. I don't know, man. I'm trying to figure out the guy that we picked, man. That everybody was hyping him about. What was that guy's name that we picked last year? I still wouldn't have picked him, man. There were so many better players on that board, bro. But we got to figure out what we got to figure it out. Then we got to see what he is. I'm not going to judge him off college, but I don't like the pick, man. It's a reach of my eyes. It's a reach of my eyes, bro. I mean, you're going off tangibles and length and not production. You're going off stats rather than actual film. You're going off the Senior Bowl rather than watch them on film. Like, come on, man. You telling me this dude was better than freaking any other player on that board? Come on, bro. Come on, stop, man. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. You don't reach for a guy like that unless you know what he's about. And when I'm watching film, anybody can't tell me I wasn't watching film. I was watching it. I don't see anything that everybody's seeing. I don't see a guy that's ready. I will see that. And those three picks that you picked, late third, early third, those guys are starters. Fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, I get it. Not starters. But those guys have to come through. So you drafted them and you chose him over guys like Peyton Wilson, who would be a starter, over Cedric, what's his name? Cedric Gray, the linebacker, over, you'd rather have Jalen Hunt over him. He would have been a starter. I don't think he starts. He looks like he's out. He looks like he's a raw player. Maybe he's a Mil Williams situation, but Mil Williams actually, if you watch him, he had highlights. This dude don't. This dude also doesn't have a real good film. He looks like he's out of place sometimes. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just seeing it wrong. Because I wasn't a film Mil Williams pick either. So maybe I'm reaching a little bit. Maybe I got to see what he is. I'm not going to say he sucks. I'm just going to say I'd rather go out there play that would have been a starter. You know, I'd rather go out there a linebacker where you need it, a safety, I mean, you got good players on that board, man. There was better players on that board, bro. He better. I mean, hopefully he turns out another Milton Williams situation because Milton Williams was balling. He still is balling. I hope that he doesn't turn out to be another Davion Taylor situation. I'm hoping that's not the case, or another Marcus Smith, or even worse. What was that defensive end / edge rusher didn't work out for us, and we gave him so much time, and he didn't work out. Oh, what was his name? Oh man, and everybody was hyping him up, and he didn't work out. What was his name? Was it Alex McAllister? I forget that guy's name. No, it wasn't him. Let's see, bro. Let's see. You will find out. I just don't see. I just don't see what everybody's seeing. Just don't. And it's just maybe just me. You know. But I just don't see the potential. Just don't. But I'm not a scout, so what do I know? I'm just here to give my opinion. Whether people like it or not, I give my opinion, and I move on. Let's see what he draft projection. So let's see what NFL Network ranked him. Let's see. So prospect grade was 6.14. Let's see. 2024 combine defense edge ranked. Is that fifth? Fifth at 79. 24 combine defensive ranked. 19th, 61. Total score / combine defensive end / edge rusher. He was ranked according to NFL.com 12th, 71. 40-yard, he had a 6.464 seconds for 40-yard dash. 10-yard split, he had a 1.6 seconds. Vertical jump, he had a 37.5. Broad jump, I don't give a shit about that. I just want to know where he was ranked. He was projected on a round 4. Round 4, interesting. So NFL Network ranked him round 4. All right. So round 4, they ranked him. So this one is from Bleacher Reports. He was graded as a 7th round pick. From Bleacher Reports. Who had him going in the top 3rd? I don't see that. Everybody's ranking him low. No one has him going to 3rd. What is this? I mean, everybody had him going in the 3rd, the 7th. I don't see him being a high pick. This looked like to me a reach. He looked like he was a 7th round pick. So this is 33rd team. Let's see what they ranked him. So Hunt played 2 years at Cornell Ivy League Cancer Football in 2020. This sounds like Davion Taylor again. Before transferring to Houston Christian for his final 2 seasons, he came out of South Florida where he played corner, wide receiver high school. Sounds like Davion Taylor again, but was recruited. He walked on out of Cornell where he played safety before Houston Christian moved him to a linebacker role, O-line, outside linebacker role in 2023. Was the South Atlantic Defensive Player of the Year. Okay. He was lined off ball stacked outside box and at times over the slot. There were significant snaps where Hunt dropped into underneath zone coverage. There were snaps which he matched up man-to-man slot receiver. There was a lane tight end to formation. His 2 primary areas, the focus should be speed to power, conversational motorcycle lean, bend ARC, and flatten his rush path to the quarterback. Something he is athletically capable of. Bottom line with Hunt is he's an elite athlete with outstanding size and length. He possesses every trait you look for in an edge pass rusher. Keep in mind, he has extensive experience playing off ball, outside box. While it would take some time for him to develop more tools in his box, he has all you want in a higher leverage edge rusher. But where did they rank him? I mean, he has potential, but was he a 3rd rounder? No one has him going in the 3rd. Everybody has Hunt going to the 7th, the 6th. I don't see a 3rd. So this is NFL Draft Bugs. Jalen Hunt. Jalix Hunt. Overall rated 82.5. Hold on, let's put this up. Hold up. Let's put this up. Because I don't know where people are getting an idea that this man was a better prospect than anybody else we got. Now, again, I hope it works out. I don't see where they ranked him a 3rd round pick. They look like they say he has a lot of potential, but he's still raw. Why would you draft him? He's projected for them to go in the 4th. That's what they're saying. So all these dum-dums who think that Jalen Hunt, who I think has potential, but he's still raw, they're saying he needs to work on it. Why would you reach for a guy like that? I don't get it, man. I mean, Milton Williams is ranked to go in the 3rd. You drafted that man in the 3rd. Everybody had him going higher. This ain't a Milton Williams situation. This looks like a Davion Taylor situation. I hope he works out, man. Because everybody's ranking him to go into the 4th, the 6th, the 5th, not a 3rd, not a late 3rd rounder. Late 4th, too. It's not early 4th, late 4th. He was drafted round 3, pick 94. He was projected to go in the late 4th. Late fourth. Let's see. Let's see what this says. I'll show it to you. I mean, dude, like, I'm sorry, but I'm not loving this pick right now, man. Now observing this pick, it's a reach. Because I don't see why you would reach for a guy like that. But we're going to have to find out. We don't know what he is. But hopefully he's not what I think he is, and that's a Damian Taylor. Because I don't know, man. He has potential, but I think you took him way too early. And you just don't take a player like that with all that rawness in the late third, early third. Those are supposed to be starters. You don't take a project guy into the fourth, fifth, and sixth round. And if he's a project, you just don't reach on a type of guy like that. I don't care if his measurables are good. If he's not ready to play, you don't reach on him. I don't care if it was Fangio, Rick Fangio, Bill Fangio, Don Fangio. You just don't reach on a guy like that. Because he would have probably been there. If he's not, there would have been another guy just as good as him. You pass upon tremendous talent in the third. Guys that fell for this guy. I hope he's better than what he is, man. I mean, everybody's saying he's a third round pick, or fourth, a fifth, and a sixth. No one says he's a third. They got him overall ranked 235. And this is BleacherReports.com. So they do more scouting than we do. I hope that Howard Rosen didn't listen to Daniel Jeremiah, man. Because that guy don't know football, bro. That guy be getting it wrong every time. Please don't tell me you actually listen to that dude. Because I know he said in his press conference, I listen to Daniel Jeremiah. Please don't. Please don't. Listen to someone else. Everybody's ranking him as a sixth rounder. No one is ranking him as a third. He's projected. Look, projected. Hold up. Projected to an NFL rotational prospect. Hunt athletic traits and potential for further development position. Viable assets. He's projected to go round 5 and 6. That's what they're saying. I don't know if you can see it. Let me remove. Yeah, like, dude, like, and you thought it was a good idea to take a late. Everybody's projecting a Hunt to go in a late 5th and 6th round. Why are we reaching on a guy like that? I don't give a damn how much potential he has. You do that in the 5th and 6th round. I didn't get to read too much about him, but right now I don't like it. It screams a Davion Taylor pick. He didn't play college 1 year. He didn't play high school 1 year. Stop, man. Stop, bro. Stop trying to go after guys that have potential and go for the best player. Don't tell me that dude was your best player on the board, man. There ain't no way. There is no way. This is the analytic pick right here, man. Because he has potential, and they saw him in the Senior Bowl. Everybody has him going in the 5th and 6th round. I don't see a third round grade on him. I don't even see a late third round grade on him. They have him going to round 5 and 6, where he's projected. I don't see a third rounder. NFL.com had him going in the 4th and 5th. We decided to select them in the second day of the draft. Holy shit. So not only we decided to select holy shit, I didn't even know that. So he was one of our second round picks, right? Come on, bro. Stop, man. Second night of the so he's a second round pick. Oh, he better be playing, bro. I don't give a shit about his developmentals. You reach on a guy that would have went in the 4th and 5th for a 2nd round pick? Come on, man. Come on, dude. No, he better be on the fucking field, dude. After twice trading back, you drafted this guy. Nah, he better be on that fucking field, man. I don't give a shit about his developmentals. You drafted this guy, you better hope he's that dude. Wow, that's a real reach right there. I was thinking maybe late 3rd, 2nd round pick, and this man's projected to go in the 5th and 6th. I don't know, man. I don't know, bro. That was a reach. That's a reach. That's a reach. I think Quinion Mitchell. Now, I'm not worried about Quinion Mitchell. I'm worried about Jalen Hunt, or a late 2nd round pick that we decided to take, who's projected to be a 3rd and 4th round guy that doesn't look like he's ready. It's looked like an experiment project. Hey, Fangio, are you planning to use him this year? Because Dopey, you better not put him on that damn bench. No, he's your starter. I don't want to see that guy on that bench. He better be my starter. Matter of fact, he better be in a rotation. Fuck, let him sit back. No, you drafted him with the late 2nd round. If he's a late 2nd round pick, he better be on that damn field. I ain't trying to be, well, he got time to learn. Nah, fuck all that. You drafted this man with a late 2nd round pick. He better be a starter because he was ranked a 4th or 5th round pick. You drafted this man with a 2nd overall, with one of the late 2nd round picks. Way too high for him. Way too high. I don't get it. I don't like that pick one bit. It's a reach, in my opinion. You don't reach for a guy like that. And listen, maybe he'll turn out to be good, but dude, you don't reach for a guy like that. I'm sorry. There's no need to reach for him. He was ranked as a 4th and a 5th, 6th round pick, man. Why are you trading back and then going and draft him in the late 2nd? That's way too early for him. And I know he's not starting. So what is the point of drafting him? Look who you passed up on, man. You passed up on so many players for a project. Listen. I've seen it so many times. Hopefully he works out. He better be on that field. He's your late 2nd round pick. Listen, late 2nd round picks are on that field, man. I don't give a shit if he's a project. Well, he better not be a project. He better be a finished ASAP project immediately. He better be a project that you bring out of science, ready to be graded. Because that's the only project I want to see. I want to see that project on that field producing like a 2nd round pick. You drafted him to be the late 2nd round pick. He better be that 2nd round pick. That's a starter, man. That's a starter. Ain't no 3rd rounder. That's a 2nd round pick. Now I'm really harsh on him. I'm going to be really harsh on him because he's my 2nd round pick. He better produce, or some scout got to get fired, or Fangio got to get the boot. Whoever called for this guy to be our pick, his job needs to be on the line. And knowing that, probably Fangio. This is a guy that has really, really been bad at drafting. Reach on players. How many times you want me to go down the list? How many times he reached on players? When they have had him in the building, he's reached on guys that haven't developed. Fangio was not good at drafting. But hopefully he got his player. You pound for him on on that draft board to get him, you better use him. I better not see him on the damn bench. He better be some way on that field playing defense, offense, off the ball, linebacker or defensive man. He better be started. I don't give a shit what anybody says. Well, he got potential. No, he better be a fucking star. Listen, he's a second-round pick. That's a second-round pick. And the more and more I read about him, the more and more I think it's a reach. Because why would you draft him in that late round? No need to. So that's a D. That's an F in my opinion. That's a failed pick right there. I'm giving that's a C. I'm giving the C- with that pick. And that was Fangio's pick. That's a failed pick right there, man. You don't reach for that guy. Everybody has that man going into the 4th and 5th round. Why the fuck are we taking him with the late second round? Everybody has Jalen Hunt going to the 5th, 6th, and 7th. NFL Network has him going there. Pro Football Focus has him going there. You name it. They do not have him going in the late second round. So hopefully, Jalen Hunt, whatever his name is, he better be on that field. He better be on that field. At least produce somewhat. I don't give a damn if he's on special teams. He better be on that field producing. Because that's a pick that you can't miss on. That's a second-round pick. That's not a third rounder. That's not a 4th rounder. That's not a 5th rounder. That's not a 6th rounder. That's a late second rounder. A starter. Hopefully we didn't reach on that guy. Because more and more I dive into these picks, I don't like that 3rd round pick. I ain't going to be real with you. I don't like that late second round pick. I don't like that. It was too much talent on that board. I don't like it then, and I don't like it now. I'm hoping that guy works out, man. Jalen Hunt, he better be on. I better hear his name so much on that field. Look at that dude made a play. Yeah, he better be that guy. Because there's so much talent you passed up on. Ain't just linebackers. But there's no need to reach for the guy. He was projected to go in the 4th to 5th round. Why are we trying to hype him up? Why are we trying to act like this guy's all that? He was projected as a project. We took a project with the 2nd round pick. Jesus Christ, man. Fangio. What are you doing, dude? What are you doing, man? Well, you got to give it time. Man, I don't got to give shit time. All I know, he better be on that damn field producing. 3rd rounders, don't care. 4th rounders, fine. 5th rounders, 6th, 2nd round picks on that damn field playing. I don't give a damn if he's a product. That's your fault. You drafted him. You banged for the table for him. He better be a starter. Because the more and more I watch him, I don't see it. I don't see why you go out in the 2nd round and draft a guy that would probably been there in the 3rd. You could have got at least him in the 4th. No one was taking him in early. And if they did, they were idiots. Because he was not projected to go in the 2nd. That's why they gave him a B minus. Because you had other players on the board. I don't get it. I don't get it. It makes no sense. No one had that man going to late 2nd round pick. Stop it. He was projected to go in the 4th, the 5th, and the 6th round. All these dum-dums talking about, well, look, he's a good player. Yeah, he's a good project player. Too bad he needs to be a starter. So if he ain't ready, someone got to get canned, bro. Because that is a failed pick that you just don't mess up on. Your late 2nd round, early 2nd round picks, they got to be contributing in some way on that field. They got to contribute some way on that field. That's a player right there. That's a dude that needs to start. You drafted him high. You wanted to trade back many times to get him. Maybe on that field, playing like a late second round pick that he is. Miles Sanders was a late second round pick, or one of them was. Metcalf was a late second round pick. Brown was a late second round pick. Those guys are starters. I'm not waiting for that guy to develop. He better be on that damn field playing. Just saying. I don't know, man. Now I'm looking at that shit got me mad because I didn't know too much about him. But everybody had him going on. I hope to God we didn't reach on him. And I know the draft is over, this and that. Why are you talking about it now? Because now I'm just realizing. Because listen, you got to understand something. I was at work. I didn't really get to sit back and watch draft. So when that draft pick announced, I was mad. You should have saw me. I wasn't happy. But I didn't understand who we got. But now I do. And I'm not happy still. You reached on him. You reached on him. The analytics department came through, and you reached on him. We better be acing our second round picks. We better not be. I hope we didn't just botch your second rounder. And you traded down for him. You didn't move up for him. You traded picks down to get him, to acquire him. You had other players on that board, man. Payne Wilson was on that board. You didn't want him. The players that Jalen Hunt is going to have pressure, he has to produce. You put pressure on that kid when he's not even in the second round. And the funny thing is, we know he's not a second round pick. But everybody's always good at what the Eagles do. They won't criticize him. I will. It's a stupid pick. It's a dumb pick. It's a Fangio, idiotic, stupid, reached of a pick that's not going to pan out. And how much you want to bet Jalen Hunt will not be a starter? How much you want to bet he won't start? Or there'll be something wrong with him? This gives me Davion Tyler vibes. Except one thing. Davion Tyler wasn't a second round pick. We drafted this man in the second round.
Alright, we back, man. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck happened, man. I don't know what the fuck happened, but anyway, I apologize for that. My laptop being weird, man. It look see it's just it's not even like it's not even showing any Wi-Fi. I don't know what's up with it. The Wi-Fi is working fine. It's just the laptop, man. But yeah, man, like I said, those three got to play, man. But I didn't mean to go on a little tangent. Anyway, I'm gonna figure this out. I gotta get ready for work tomorrow. But yeah, my fucking watch. Let's see. Anybody don't believe me? Look at this. Fucking see. Yeah, it's acting weird, man. I'm gonna shut it down. I'm gonna restart it. Hopefully, get the Wi-Fi back tomorrow because I need it for Friday because we're going Weapon X Eagle. But anyway, y'all have a great day. Go Birds. Peace.